What'd you eat, like spaghetti?
And with that question, we return to Grodger
kind of.
Griff emerging out of his fever state in this 10th installment of this third act of this campaign, which may never end. Grodger, the
Let's go,
last
James.
thing. Oh, oopsies. I mean, I am recording. but I
Imagine
am
not
streaming.
showing us what's going on.
Listen, Grodger's in a fever state. It doesn't count. He's basically dead.
I've never come out of the walls before.
Grodger, you wake up. You can't, Brendan, you can't just start playing land.io.
What? What are you talking about?
That's actually a crowd punishable by death.
Alright, fine.
How do I leave?
I certainly don't know. All right, so you awake from your fever state, and it feels that you have several broken bones. You don't know what time of day it is. You're in the dungeon. Notably, you're not covered in poop.
Oh, that's the first time in, like, months.
Yeah.
What?
So, Grouger, hold up. I need to run MSI Afterburner real quick. Alright, now my fans are quiet. You're back in what appears to be your old cell.
Was all a dream?
Alright, and one of the guards is gonna walk over and go, "Oi, the guy that was covered in shits awake!"
What if? And they all speak different languages now.
Are you true that you climbed down the laboratory?
There is no evidence that that happened in real life.
There was witnesses.
Where?
I don't know, upstairs.
Yeah, but
Apparently
have you
the king
seen them?
himself saw you. That's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, but have you talked to them personally?
No, I've just heard from the grapevine.
It's a conspiracy.
Roll for deception.
Roll for conspiracy. 15.
Yeah, I don't buy that, because you was covered in shite when you got dropped off, so it sounds about right to me.
Listen, all I know is I was knocked out from there afterwards.
Right, you know what day it is?
Thursday.
No, it's Friday, June 12th of 1645. You've been in a coma for 12 years.
That's why I'm so old now.
But he's not.
So, we didn't know if you'd ever wake up. Kinda sat there. All your friends are probably dead and stuff, innit?
In it, me? That would be tragic if everyone was dead.
Yeah. It would also mean that, if you had any secrets, like if you knew where treasure was buried, then its time has passed and, you could tell me or anything if you wanted.
It is so sad that that all my friends will never be able to redeem all the loot that was in that hole.
Right, what hole though?
Well, it was a long time ago. We were in a hole. And there was loot all on the walls. Swords, gold, armor, pieces of wood, just piled in this hole.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Where was the hole though?
Oh, if only I had a map and I could show you.
Well, I have a map. He gives you a map.
Item unlocked. Alright. I'm gonna point. Hold on, let me pull up my map. I'm gonna point to the area where the mushroom people are. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
You know, the people that are mushrooms.
Help. What?
Do you not remember them?
The Micah nudes.
Oh!
He doesn't know them by their
I was thinking
colloquial
about the
name.
ones from Dark Souls. I only know them as my goodness. So you're just pointing to the mountains.
There it is.
All right.
A man could be rich if he could get it all out of there.
What are you
10
talking?
men could be rich if they all
How
get it
deep
out of there.
underground? You talking in the mountains then?
Well, I mean, it's not that deep. There are a series of caves, though.
Oh, but it's not like it's 12 feet down, is it? It's more like 1,200, 4,000.
Oh,
How are we
They're in the
talking?
caves.
That sounds right dangerous. I'm not trying that.
No, the caves were really safe. I remember walking down, no problems. Flashback to falling down
Roll
a
for
1,000-foot
deception.
hole. 12. The rolls only get lower.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they kill you down there.
I made it out alive.
Yeah, but you also was covered in shite like 30 minutes ago. 13 years ago, so. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't
Takes a
trust
lot
your
to
opinion.
survive. So I start telling the magical knife story that can kill thousands of foes, and you care. But then as soon as they say, "Oh, you might have to like try hard to get it," you're like, "All right, whatever."
What do you mean magical knife didn't kill that? You said there was armor and wood. A
I said there were
specific.
weapons.
I remember you said there was. I got distracted because you said wood, and I thought that was stupid.
Well, there was wood down there too. I mean, I gave you a pretty good
What was
description.
there wood down in the caves, like really deep? Ain't they
I don't
not
know,
got
like
wood down there?
maybe there were boxes or something. They were something.
Proper idiot, mate.
The magical knife that can cut through any armor. It's an insanely powerful weapon.
Right. I wish someone else has fallen unconscious. I bet it would have worked on them. This guy's just talking out of his arse.
Okay. Don't believe me then.
Alright. Meanwhile, I don't remember. Where was Cagliari left off? Were you sent to assemble the others?
I don't even remember, man. We had the little meeting, I think.
Yeah.
And I think we all just got sent like away somewhere
Yeah,
because Roger showed up
you just moved me
and
away.
crawled into a shit pipe.
Yeah, that did happen. Alright, well let's say you guys heard about the commotion of that. Cagliari, would you go visit Grouger? Your new goof troop before you have to head upstairs. It's about like 12 p.m.
Nah.
Alright, that's for the best. You hear echoes down the hallway of him talking to the guard and quite the unusual conversations. But by the time you get to the top of the stairs with Ian Smartfella, you are greeted by Lionel, who then says, "Excellent. I've already gathered Sable. Apparently Xerxes was able to coax information out of Roger, so we have what we need, presumably."
Everything I said was a lie.
So wait, are
And
you
that
coming,
was a lie.
Are you coming with us or no?
I can make one final petition to determine whether that will be the case. Otherwise, Sable will be. Takes you back to the table. Where's Sable? Where did I put that goofy little? I think I deleted. Gotta put him back. Put him back. Calm down. Don't put him in
It's
the.
Tom Sawyer.
Alright. Lionel walks up to Sable and says, "Has Xerxes briefed you yet, or are we still waiting?" Talking to Sable. Brandon.
Dog, I don't know. I left early.
Yes, you did. You were not briefed. You had to go gather information, and then somebody went to retrieve you. I guess I will update. Not the full update, but the update that you're being updated. While you were going to attempt to investigate the link that Xerxes told you to investigate, Xerxes stayed back and interrogated Grouger. Somebody told you that, and then told you that Xerxes wanted you back because they already had what they were looking for the whole time. So now things get really easy. So you were told to double back and then wait to be briefed.
Oh. Sick.
Indeed. And you have not been
Well,
briefed yet, to answer Lionel's question.
then no.
Great. And then he sits down and waits. Says, I don't know if the king is busy or what, but I'd really hoped we would be able to set off by now. It's lunchtime.
Yes, it is.
You guys can all take your seats. You know, it adds so much tension and drama.
No.
Rainey will go sit in the middle on the right side, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Kelly is going to sit as far away from Lionel as possible.
That's fair.
You guys will sit between Sable and Cagliari, but closer to Sable. I'll guys scoot the chair over.
Heroic. Okay. Well, Lionel just kind of begins tapping his fingers. And
Marco's eating Cheez-Its.
that's fair. Pretty fair. Alright, I guess I don't need the dungeon music now that we're not in the spooky dungeon.
I haven't heard anything.
That's unfortunate, but also not really.
Unless there might have been slight wind noises that just went away.
It's very low ambience, so yeah. Shouldn't be super notable even if it is there. Alright. Siobhan. Notably, it is now around 12 p.m. So your morning session with Ravenna ended, we'll say, like an hour ago. So what have you been doing?
I guess I'm wondering, would they come get me to eat?
They would.
Okay, so who's around for lunch?
Well, are you just waiting to be picked up to be served food? Is that what you mean? And then or do you want to look around right now to see who's there for lunch?
Yeah, I'll look around.
Okay. Are you taking Luna with you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you exit to see exactly what the arrangements are, because it's getting about that time where it seems like a meal would be served. Not exactly sure what the schedule is. You haven't been informed much. You pry open the door quietly just to see if anything's there. The guards are stationed there, but they have not restricted you from walking through. But one of them does like gesture to you and like wave you down, and then starts talking to you. If you would, I mean, you can't ignore him, but do you? What do you do?
No.
Huh? John? No, he's
Are
dying.
you starting to talk to me, or do you want to say something first?
You are not coming through at all consistently.
You keep cutting out.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh, ee-ah.
Wait, can you hear me now or no?
Now I can, yeah.
Okay. No, I was asking, do you want me to start the conversation, or should they?
No, he's
stop
literally
me?
about to say words quietly. But I just
Yeah, no,
wanted to make sure you're
I'll listen to
okay.
him.
Okay.
I'll listen to him if I can. Yeah.
Yes. He says, Madam, let it be known that there are certain meeting taking place. I'm not sure if you're allowed in here or not, but serve them at your own risk.
Well, I don't seem to recall the name of the butler who was put in charge of me. Is there any way I could find him?
Possibly the servants are in separate quarters. I could go ask around, but I would need you to give me a name. I don't myself have the servants' names memorized.
Oh dear, I don't quite remember. It's fine. I'll try.
You'll try?
Well, is lunch being served at all?
Did you
I mean,
did you say anything
don't
after I'll try?
know.
Because it keeps cutting out, dude.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know either.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. One of the problems is if
Yeah,
you're
I said
not
I'll try to.
okay, if you're not talking loud enough, I have a noise gate set up in Discord, I think. So if you're mumbling, it's not going to come through.
I'm hearing it cut off too.
Yeah.
It's not on your end.
Well, no, it's a noise
Okay.
gate on his end, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
It's the Discord thing because the problem is his mic was just picking up background audio constantly on Discord before I set that up. But yeah. Okay, so are you going to the circus
Well,
course?
no, I was saying I could just try to avoid the meeting if possible, but
Okay.
I was wondering about food. I don't know how things work.
I
I
am
don't know
not
how
sure.
things work.
Normally meals are served at 12, but things have been delayed by a incident in the lavatory, the latrine.
I'm gonna cock my head a little bit, and then I'm going to open my mind.
Okay. You need to make a wisdom save, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll Malachi. Wait, no, I can't. I need that character sheet
Just
open,
pick.
don't
Yeah, probably.
I? Okay.
Downside of having
Big money, no whammies. And I will roll a wisdom saving throw right now. Ooh.
wow, heroic. So that's a fail.
Yeah.
So that means you get overwhelmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are lots and lots of thoughts spiraling by. It is difficult to identify any of them. The guards seem lightly amused, but then there's another presence of anger and anxiety emanating from this table. Particularly, Lionel seems to have a million thoughts rushing per minute. Although, what range do you pick up thoughts from? I don't know if he's even...
I think technically it kind of just works with like me taking like ambient like what's around. So
Okay.
I had to be precisely what was around me. They're past my range, I think.
Okay. I'm just gonna say, for some reason, your powers are more attuned in this area, and you're picking up
Mhm.
stuff you would normally pick up, and it's
It
overwhelming you.
might be very strong
Who
thoughts or
knows?
emotions.
Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Any number of shenanigans to contextualize the role, but either way, you're not sure what the heck's going on. The guard, noticing you're in a bit of pain, says, "Madam, you all right?"
Oh yeah, I'll be all right. Actually, I just need a glass of water or something. And I kind of excuse myself and
You going left or right?
left.
Into the room you. Now, members of the table who are facing this way will clearly see a 14-year-old elf wandering on. Smart fella, you saw her barge in briefly when Ravenna was with her. Sable, you have some interaction with her. Cagliari, you also were barged in on. So, same young elven girl, but this time there's an owl on her shoulder. A white barn owl. So,
Once I see them, I'm gonna like just. I'm still like my hand is still holding my head like it
yeah,
hurts,
yeah.
and I'm just gonna put my hand up and be like, excuse me," and like just like run through.
Uh huh. Where are you going?
just give her Cagliari just gives her a little half wave as she goes by.
Mm-hmm.
Where you headed, Sean?
Can I go outside onto the balcony?
The bottom balcony?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's all right. The balcony is empty. It's not too windy of a day like it was last time. It's a little bit calmer. Much to see as the skies are clear. Green grass below you, clouds above you.
Mm.
Even the cityscape below the green grass mountain after that small plateau. See the kingdom of Lucine and its outer walls. Quite the view.
Hmm. I'm wondering. I don't think there's necessarily anything I can do quite yet. So instead, I'm gonna wait outside for a little bit, and then I'm gonna head back in through the door. Um, but I'm just gonna stay by the entrance and see if I could hear anything.
Okay.
I mean, like from out, like just like in the
Oh,
door.
I understand. I understand. You little
Mhm.
eavesdropper.
Mm-hmm.
Feet away. Good distance, like 30 something. Be quite difficult to hear, but possible. Possible. All right.
Do you need me to roll perception?
Sure. Gotta do stuff.
Okay.
After 3 or so minutes on the balcony, and several
Great.
minutes of Lionel just tapping his fingers
Yep.
on the table. Oh boy, yeah, no. Several minutes of Lionel just tapping his fingers on the table, he says, I don't understand what is taking him so long. Thought this was. Alright, and then Xerxes opens the door. Says, I apologize, I was delayed by another matter. So, those of you who are unaware, I had a meeting with Roger Griff, and due to some of my own methods, I was able to link some events together. So, what I learned was in full confidence that Malachi de Lumiere, or at the very least one or more of his associates, were involved in the attack at the asylum. It is possible that among their ranks is Drybark, one of the old brigadier generals, and it is most likely that Malachi has either taken full control of Malik's army or is serving with him in some capacity, which would explain the movement of the army and their disappearance from our current circumstances and fields no longer being burned. But it would also explain how they were able to mobilize an elite force to make a swift attack on the asylum, which is admittedly not what I expected. That being said, I do feel that now we have enough information that it may be wise to make our way to the Feywild if what Roger says is to be believed, which, while the man is manic, I do feel that what he says is at least reliable enough to go off of.
I'm gonna pretend to fall through the door.
Okay. Heroic.
Make sure you scream.
Well, since you're pretending, roll for performance, please.
Uh-oh.
Come on, stupid dice. Yep. Ugh.
Okay.
6.
Lionel immediately gets up and raises his fist and then just realizes it's Javon and kind of like lets up a little and then is just like awkwardly standing there and then looks back to Xerxes, who just has a complete, like, I don't even know. What is the name of this? I don't know what the name of the face is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to
Not nonplussed.
share the screen and we're one of these. It's just one of them. It's like, okay. So, that's what's going on there.
It's the nice one.
Yeah. And Xerxes, without even standing up, just kind of gestures with his hand and... What was that? Siobhan still on the floor.
Yeah, she's still on the floor. She's like badly pretending to like get up and just
Honestly, just start like eating bugs off the ground or something.
no,
I actually agree with this line of thought.
She I am so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt any of you. I've just been having some trouble controlling, and I look around and I say, some magic's a little hard to control sometimes.
Okay. Roll for deception, I guess, because that's a lie, right?
But my head was hurting me from me losing my
That is
control.
true. Roll for persuasion? I'm trying to do something. I don't know what to call what you're
Freaking
doing.
God. You know what? It doesn't matter. All my rolls are awful tonight.
What did you roll? I'm organizing my
11.
dice to get my dice. Alright. Let me counter roll here.
You've inspired me to pull up my real dice and not use D&D Beyond. Thank you for that.
Wow.
Genius.
Do you know how lucky? Well, let me find the modifiers, but you might be really lucky. Let me check.
Xerxes has a plus 82.
Does that's the problem. How do I find it? My homebrew crew. On the wrong.
Bro rolled a 2 and still passed.
Xerxes. Nah. He's got a +4 to both of those. So in the one case, he got a 10 to track your performance as being illegitimate, and then in the other case, he got a 12. I think. So he beats you out by like 1 in both cases, which is quite unfortunate. I'm finally doing something I probably should have done a long time ago, which is nice.
Shit.
Nice one. Which is put my dice in the drawer and then roll them in there with the drawer slightly open so they're not taking up counter space. So I am a genius.
That was
Anyway.
a lot of words. I was just thinking about the dog barking.
Yeah, that was also a lot. So Xerxes says, "I appreciate the performance, but that will not be working here."
I'll turn up my gain.
I'm gonna roll for insight. And he says, "I'm not exactly sure what you're trying, but I don't like playing game. Return to your room, please."
Not a gamer.
I'm sorry. I just.
Return to your room.
Yes, sir. And
Roll for divine intervention.
Always roll for divine intervention.
Can I like dip behind the wall and kind of?
Okay. Wow. In full view of the guards.
What just went? Ah.
And then, I'm gonna ask the guards, where do we have lunch?
One of the guards walks up, says, "Fortunately, I don't think lunch is on the table right now. I would anticipate a 12:30 meal."
Okay, I'm just a bit woozy. Okay. Thank you for your service. And I'm gonna keep going.
All right.
Is there any way to the like dungeons that I can? I know there's a room
you don't really know where it is.
I know there's a room I've tried to go to, but there's guards blocking it.
Yes, there's a few of them.
Can I try to go there?
Good reason. There's a crazy.
It's
guy.
on the other end of the room. Xerxes. That's one problem. And then there's this staircase, which is.
Well, couldn't I go around the back side of the room?
Sure, if you give me a stealth check. You're in a lot of variables here. The other guard also, while you're walking, says, "Madam, first of all, I warned you. Second of all, I did investigate in the servant school, and the person responsible for you is named Lawrence.
Mm.
A W, not a U.
Yes.
Apparently there's a Lawrence with a U, and I didn't specify it for."
Very cool. Okay. Then I
Gonna roll your little stealth and go
guess
back,
I.
walking away from the guard,
No, but
who's ushering you through
no,
the
the
door.
guards are watching.
Yeah.
The guards are watching.
Yeah.
So I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wah, wah. All right, the door is shut behind you,
Scream squawk.
and in the hallway is Ravenna, who immediately says, "What's going on in there? Where's lunch?" Lunch is always at 12. What's going on?
Your father's having a bit of a meeting, and I
Are you
tried.
kidding? During lunchtime?
That's what I said.
No.
Honestly, that is what I said. Maybe
Watch.
you could get.
Shh.
Okay.
Watch this. And then she walks in. The guards immediately shuffle back. And as Xerxes says, now, where were we? Ramena says, Daddy! He goes, oh dear God.
He shoots her with a real gun.
He walks up to Xerxes and says, Daddy, I don't know if you know, but it's 12:15, and you know lunch is normally at 12. Yes, I'm in the middle of a meeting. Is it possible, because I'm really hungry, I spent all morning tutoring Siobhan, which is not an easy job. She's not the brightest bulb, but she could be. I'll shine the bulb up. Anyway, so I was wondering, could you move your meeting? I suppose I have delayed our standard proceedings, which I do acknowledge is suboptimal. To be fair, a man tried to crawl through the toilets.
There's no evidence of that.
Made things interesting. But your point is taken.
Wait, do I hear that about the man trying to crawl through?
Girl, you are 90 feet away. Alright. Ravenna goes.
I know.
Ravenna goes.
How's-
Who tried to
okay.
crawl? Who tried to crawl through the toilet? Was it that weird guy with that weird voice and the dyed hair? No. He's kind of cute. Anyway, that'd be great if you could do that. Love you. He goes, yes. You can meet on the balcony. Have the servants informed. Guards, have the meal served. Alright, and then he just casually gets up and goes, thank you. Walks back, Xerxes goes, let's just walk. Say nothing, walk. And exits onto the balcony. Alright. Two more guards file in and then flank the balcony as you head over to ensure that no one enters. He stands aside as you all gather round. Now you gotta decide what form of circle you're making. Lionel takes the middle immediately. And who's standing where in the half circle? This is
Can I go lean against the balcony on one of the sides, just away from Lionel? Yeah.
what a hero.
Rainy doesn't care. She'll stand right next to him.
Yeah. Smart fella, Sable.
I'd probably be with Lionel.
Yeah. Fella.
I'll just be like near Sable.
Right. Like here or like here?
Behind Lionel. Yeah, the first one.
Yes, Sable's got his back to the wall, but he's also got like Cagliari in vision.
Yep. Alright.
I could move a little closer.
A little further
Like,
up. Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. Xerxes says,
Mm,
go.
okay.
We
Sable's
have...
definitely got Cagliari in vision. He's probably standing on the other side of Lionel then.
Yeah. Like what, here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to the wall. Everybody else in vision.
Put Ryan there. There we go.
Vision.
Most important thing.
Shuffle
Alright.
is all.
Yeah. Alright. As Xerxes says.
UAV inbound.
Now, that we may continue. Given what I've learned, I have a course of action that I would like to pursue, unless, of course, Sable, you have any other ideas. I have a contact in the Kyriil Plateau that I feel I could utilize, particularly because of Siobhan, who you just, in a way, met. She may prove to be a valuable asset if she is the daughter of who I think she is the daughter of. We may be able to use her as a bargaining chip of sorts, or just a way to gain favor in the court should we promise her safe return to said individual. Now, in terms of meeting the contact, it's not quite a simple process of getting into the Kyriil Plateau. We have contact, but getting in is the more difficult part. Getting in without starting a war. In which case, we have a few options. I could potentially spare a dragon. We do have a means of teleporting roundabouts the area, but ultimately it comes down to needing to travel through the gate. And things have apparently ramped up in security on the plateau since the invasion of our not-so-friendly neighbors from overseas and their flying mechanism. The elves allegedly are startled and have become even more reclusive, which I didn't think was possible. That being said, we need to find a way into the plateau. I can get you near there, but then things get interesting. Thoughts?
No.
An honest man.
Head and no thoughts.
So, is this like a diplomatic thing, or?
I would very much prefer it to be a diplomatic thing. I do not need to add to my list of enemies at this time. I would go so far as to say that the only option is a diplomatic one.
So are we like contacting the elven government and then going through that way, or are we just trying to get to the one guy and talk to him?
We could go about it either way. Were there a way that we could sneak onto the plateau and make contact with this individual directly, or my contact, that would work, but getting caught would certainly mean death. On the other hand, should we go through the proper proceedings, we may lose valuable time, but we are not performing espionage, which decreases the likelihood that things will go wrong. Now, I have ways around this, and what I propose is the following. I am short on time. Fast and easy entry be the easiest solution. But I cannot have my name or reputation be tarnished by a group of spies, in which case you will have to align yourselves with Malachi when entering the Kyriil Plateau. Under that assumption, any harm that is done will be done in his name and his name only. Essentially, the story will be that you need access to the Feywild so that you can operate against me, and that you may have potentially interacted in the past, but that you need to meet up with Malachi. The details of the story must be ironed out. We don't have much information, so the fewer details in our story, the better. But that is where I may need Sable's assistance to craft some form of alibi. Now, that being said, this would greatly increase the potential risk to your lives should you be caught, which is why I will handsomely compensate each of you for this assignment.
What?
I'm not going to repeat myself.
Do you mean gold or
Yes.
something else?
If you have a preference for something other than or in addition to the amount of gold I will be providing you, name it. I will see what I can accomplish. You will receive half of the payment for accepting, and the other half when you find a way for Lucine's army to gain access to the Feywild.
I'd like to discuss payment later.
Very well. Is there anything you would like to discuss now? Any of you? Lionel says, Sir, if possible, I would like to be on this assignment myself. No, that will not be happening. I need you elsewhere, Lionel, not on an espionage mission. You will be needed on the front lines commanding my best men. Yes, sir.
Can I get some new clothes?
Yes.
Yay.
Lionel, should you prefer to sit in on the rest of this meeting, you may, as I wish to keep you informed, but as we have previously discussed, you do have your own assignment. Yes, sir, I think that is fine. I have made my case. I will get back to my duties. Long live the king! 9 exits.
So it's the 4 of us going to the Feywild.
For now. I may have a few others that I could give you to lend you some aid. Some elves that could give you some credibility. But in my mind, the smaller the force, the better. I do not want to alarm the elves with a small army of sorts. Less than 10 people would be ideal.
So we're going to the Kyriil Plateau to negotiate with them, and then we're going straight to the Feywild from there.
Possibly. Ideally, I would prefer it if you can broker a deal to, say, let me and my men gain access to the Feywild. That is, by and large, the most difficult part of your assignment. I will propose, if you cannot broker that deal, but gain access to the Feywild yourself, go ahead and scout it, if you will. Just know that the second half of your payment will not be paid. Take the job, you will be paid the first half, whether you succeed or fail. Whatever you do, just do the job. I will have a way of knowing if you do not attempt it. But regardless, if an attempt is made, whatever the outcome, that payment is guaranteed. Now, the second half requires that you get Lucine access to the thing. This is all, of course, under the assumption that you are not caught. If you are caught, you must declare that you are aligned with Malachi. Even when saying so, I would prefer that you disclose the nature of who exactly you would like to transport to the Feywild. My men and I will have means of disguising ourselves should we arrive to the Kyriil Plateau.
So your men will disguise themselves as Malik's army?
Correct. A section of it. Many of Malik's men are from Kunin Greek, many more are peasants. It's not difficult to disguise ourselves as either of those things.
Okay.
Benefit, of course, is that some of you have served with Malachi. Some of you may even still be aligned to Malachi. The other benefit is that I don't particularly care if you are, because I don't believe I have anything to lose. That should scare you. Be aware that I don't care where your allegiances currently are, because I have means of making sure that this situation plays out in my favor. So, I trust that you will act prudently.
My fellow doesn't know what that word means, but he's not going to say anything.
What a hero.
Well,
So when do we
wonderfully
leave?
arousing speech. I would say very soon. I do believe I still have a few things to discuss.
Very well.
In private, that is.
I see. That can easily be arranged. Do any of the other three of you have anything that you would like to discuss here? Excellent. And Sable, come. The three of you may enjoy lunch. Alright. Xerxes is going to walk with you and head down the stairs.
What's on the table? I'm snatching something.
So probably Ravenna and Siobhan, who I guess, I don't know what it
They're on the table?
Probably. Siobhan, well, Ravenna's having a salad. Siobhan, what are you having? Just pick anything.
Which one are you going to snatch?
Dog.
she's actually having
They're serving
a
dog.
bit of a salad with fruit as well.
Okay, nice. All right, Lawrence is present. There are some servants milling about. It's fairly calm. The queen is not out. It appears that some of the higher members of the king's court are floating, but primarily it's just.
I'd like to talk to Ravenna a little bit.
Okay.
Ravenna, I was wondering, I've been, you know, I have a pet owl and she feels a bit cooped up, and to be honest, so do I. I was wondering if there were gardens or anywhere, that I could get to, perhaps even with a guard or two watching.
I
Wouldn't be
can
bad.
show you some gardens.
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead.
Trust this woman. Oh my god, whatever.
Oh no! All right, hold on. I'm just gonna
Let me roll
move.
my physical
I'm gonna
dice
no.
for real.
I'm gonna move this tab over just so everyone can see the rolls. Let's all witness Siobhan's rolls for the night. 7, 2, 6, higher than a 10. Look at that, high rolling, and 5.
Yeah, but it was still a 4. It's just plus.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
So let's
Jesus.
see: a 1, a 1, a 4, and a 2.
Oh no!
You're not rolled higher than a 5. Not even higher than a 4. What's the
I'm
wisdom?
telling you.
Oh, the wisdom saves a 6. No, hold up. You got a 6. That's good. That's good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. All right. It seems like she's being genuine. Maybe it's hard to tell with her.
You're supposed to roll the d20, not the d6.
Damn.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Let me just adjust that. Okay. Sure. Thank you. I'll go right with you. Let me just finish my salad, and I really appreciate this, Ravenna.
Yeah. Flowers are cool. It's not for you or anything.
Okay.
You know, there's flowers that can kill people.
I do, Ravenna, and I'm not surprised.
You ever heard of the lily of the valley? It doesn't grow around here, but apparently it grows on the Kyriil plateau. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
I might.
You
Let me
might.
roll physical dice. If it's less than like a 6, I'm not playing anymore.
That's fine.
It's a 9.
Yeah, well, you still have to play. It's not less than a 6.
All right.
You don't
Wait, no,
remember.
I have to add my nature score.
Oh, okay. All right.
Guess what it is?
What?
10.
Oh, wow. You don't
A
remember
1.
any plant called a lily of the valley. Now,
Yeah.
granted, it's not like they speak common over there, so maybe in common it's called a lily valley. No, it might be called something else. But he hasn't described what it looks like, so you don't really know.
I don't know this name. Is it possible it goes by a different name?
I mean, maybe I don't speak. Wait, no, I do speak. But I'm not like that fluent. I've only taken it for like 2 years. I know some words for flowers, like, and then she starts naming like rose and dandelion and whatever in like Elvish. She's like, I don't know what the heck they call lily of the valley. I mean, wouldn't it just be called? And then she transliterates the word lily and then and then valley, because I mean, you never heard of that, right? So
Have I?
no, you've never heard of
guy
that.
just walk by.
Yeah, this ambience isn't great.
I've been hearing that for like the whole time.
Baroque noble party ambience. This is way too loud. Courtyard ambience.
I was looking around for like like a
outside.
YouTube tab open or
Yeah,
something.
no. Royal court ambience, 1 hour extended.
Wow.
Still way too much. Nah, it's just gonna be silent. Can't have nothing.
As you walk to the end.
Sorry, no, I didn't know about it, but it's perhaps one of my sisters was a bit into.
You have sisters?
Yes.
What are their names?
I do have 3 siblings.
A lot of siblings. All I have is a stupid brother.
Oh yeah.
Not even like real anymore. It's all a weird story.
I don't.
Not even real.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's complicated, Siobhan. I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about your sisters, though. I wish I had a sister.
Well, I have 2 older sisters, and my eldest sibling is an older brother. Yeah, give me 1 second while I create names.
Wow, look at him. Great names. This guy even try with his character. Ravenna's saying this all
dude.
out loud. Her sass breaks the
Fantasy
fourth
name
wall.
generator is my favorite band.
I know,
bro.
that's where I am right now.
Yeah.
Dude, they rock hard.
Fantasy name generator is a great band.
Can't wait to play Beans McMahon again.
He'll show up one day. I have to save them. I'm gonna bring them back unannounced. They're just gonna be. You're gonna have to play as them. No warning. That's what's gonna happen.
Okay, so my brother's name. Maybe I'll lie.
Whoa, like a liar?
Like a liar.
Yeah, because then you can change them later, like a sneaky little
Always
guy.
liar.
Wouldn't you even had to say that you didn't have names? You just lied, like a
Okay.
liar. All right, I'm taking notes.
That was a liar.
Yes, so my oldest brother is Lysander.
Lysander, like lice, like hair lice.
No,
It
it's actually an old elven name.
still sounds stupid. Makes me think of lice.
Right, and my
Can I slam her head against the table?
No, you're not there. Oh, but you're about to be there. That's right. As you walk back into the room, right after getting your food, what did you get to eat?
I don't eat.
You don't. Oh, that's right. You're a loser. Well, what do you get to eat as a Rainy?
Rainey's gonna get if there's any like meat dish, probably that.
All right. There's big old turkey legs. Smart fellow, what are you getting?
Is there any cheese?
Yes.
Get a little bit of meat, a little bit of cheese.
Just like me. Go for it.
my other sister is Denise.
Denise.
No,
That's like an old person name.
Dan East.
Dan East.
Yes.
Like Dan, like Daniel. That just sounds
Sure.
like a boy's name with a girl's name in it.
And finally, my other sister. Her name is Titania.
Titania.
Mm-hmm.
Like breasts.
Very clean. What?
She's gonna cock her
Damn
head.
straight.
What do you? I don't understand.
Said Titania.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know this terminology. I'm sorry.
You don't know what tits are?
Damn straight.
I guess that makes sense. You don't have any.
Damn. I had to pull it up.
Ravenna, how old are you?
I risked life and limb.
That's not a question that you ask someone, Siobhan.
Well, before you comment on someone's chest size, remember I'm 14.
I don't know how old you elves are. Some of you are 90 and you look 20. It's not my fault.
Right. Okay. Well,
Besides, I hit puberty early.
I bet.
What does that mean?
And I'm just gonna eat my salad. I just want to go to the garden, please.
We're not going to the garden anymore.
No, I'm gonna go off and look for it by myself then.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes.
You don't even know where it is. It's not in the castle, dum-dum. And how do you think you're gonna get out of the castle without me?
I'll ask around.
Also, who are all of you losers? He beckons to other people at the table. Oh, hi, dead girl.
Hi.
Are you sitting at the table or no?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I'll just have you in this arrangement. Protest. What's your deal, little guy? Why are your clothes all gross? You like not shower?
They haven't given me new clothes yet.
Wow. Kinda gross. Can someone get him new clothes? He smells.
Guards, take him away.
Does he?
One of the guards was out. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit, yeah. Hey, one of the guards is left. Well, Ravenna finishes eating her salad and goes, well, this was great, everyone. Have fun doing whatever you do all day. She walks away. Where?
Wah, wah. Scream squam.
No, y'all.
I'm going to psychically connect to Rainy, and I'm going to say, where's Croucher?
Think he's over in the dungeons?
And I'm gonna continue like eating while I'm doing this.
Well, there is good news on that front. As you say it, and the guards walks up and says, well, apparently they're letting you eat lunch like in the Royal Hall. Must have done something right. But don't crawl into the don't do that again.
Well, no need. It's already been mapped.
Right.
I've gone where nobody else would. I've mapped
Right.
things that you wouldn't have seen.
Right. Uh-huh. My name's Troy. He goes
Your
to
name
shake
is
your hand.
Troy.
Yeah.
Proudly shake this man's hand.
Okay.
Troy, you're a good guy.
Yeah. I'll be honest, you probably figured it out because apparently you're like a detective or something, but when I said it's been 13 years, it was only 30 minutes.
Troy, I can see the future.
I kind of doubt that. Wait a minute. And then he stops you, and then he squints at you really hard. Roll deception.
Damn it! They're
Okay.
only going down!
Gotta roll. He rolled a nat 20. He rolled a nat 20 and he went, no, you can't. You're a rogue. You can't tell the future. That's like a really high level spell that only special people know. I forget what it's called. I got a rule book here. And then he opens up his rule book and he goes to a spell list. Let me see. Spell future. I think there's one that can do it. Yeah, it's called Foresight. It's a 9th level spell. It says you touch a willing creature and bestow a limited ability to see into the immediate future. For the duration, the target can't be surprised and has advantage on attack rolls. Oh yeah, I know this one. I haven't done it in a while. Watch this. Are you a willing creature?
Oh yeah,
He touches you.
it's darkness.
Okay. All it actually...
A giant unicorn.
All it actually does is you can't be surprised when you have advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. And other creatures have disadvantage on you. Alright, and he goes, alright, now watch this. And then he pulls out a knife, and you can see him try to stab you before it happens.
Whoa.
So he rolls to attack with disadvantage, and it misses. And then he goes in for a
I
second
didn't
time.
even move.
No, and it misses. You're able to dodge them flawlessly. Probably. Unless you just let yourself get stabbed. Would you? I mean, would you?
What? Hold up a second. I gotta check a little stat here.
Yeah. You have like 1 HP.
I know.
Yeah.
And with one move, I could change the entirety of the game.
You don't let yourself get stabbed?
Oh,
Okay, now this is where it gets funny. What's your AC?
15.
Alright, what if I told you he rolled a nat 20 and a 15?
Alright, I die instantly.
Alright, he stabs you and goes, oh crap, oh no! And he goes, somebody help me. I stabbed him trying to show me the future. It didn't work. Ow.
Somebody help me! I stabbed a man.
Alright. A few minutes later, there's a wizard on the scene. You've been unconscious for who knows how long. And then the wizard's going, why did you stab him? And he goes, oh, he could see the future. I cast a spell. It didn't work. I thought he would dodge me. I didn't know he was so bad. Oh, I know, it's fine. I can heal him. It's fine by me. I'm out of spell slots. Alright. So the wizard or wherever this guy goes, it's fine. Just drink this. And he gives you a red potion. You drink it?
Tastes like eggs.
Yeah. Alright, you're back to full HP. Alright. The wizard immediately says, Troy, if I have to tell your supervisor about this, you go, no, don't tell him. We were just palling around. Right, Roger? Right.
This man attacked me.
No, please. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Please, no. What the heck is that? That's so loud. Skip to another one. Marimba? I don't want this. Hold on. That's better. I play now. I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
But not for Lola.
Alright, so do you just tell the wizard that he stabbed you?
Yeah.
Alright. Roll for persuasion.
I am quite the persuasive guy.
Does he get
Oh, wait,
advantage
hold
because
up,
the other
hold up, I
guy's
can't-
blubbering and going, no, don't tell him, no.
Natural 20. Take pictures.
You have advantage on ability checks as well.
Alright, well, it doesn't matter. I already got the top.
Alright, cool. The wizard goes, Troy, that's strike 3. He goes, no, we're friends. We're friends. Please, no.
Goodbye, Troy.
I'll show you the future. How could you do this to
I
me?
saw this coming, Troy. I knew where you were gonna stand. I jumped in front of the blade.
No.
I knew this was gonna be
No.
strike 3, Troy.
No. I'll never casting
floating
spells
away.
again.
I foresaw your death before I foresaw my own.
Alright. The wizard goes, I apologize. Troy's been known to cast spells on prisoners before. This is his last warning, so he certainly won't be
Out of
working anymore.
nowhere.
Yes, that's not
I'm
surprising.
so scared for my life.
Yes, it's very strange. That's great. Well, anyway, I am
whatever,
Clarence.
it's like,
I am the head wizard here. So if you see any other magic shenanigans going on under my purview, please let me know.
Right, nice to meet you, Clarence.
Yes, something like that. Is it true that you crawled through the latrines?
Clarence, I think you, as a man of your talents, would understand the need for accurate maps.
Yes, I would. You were trying to
That's what I
escape,
was
weren't
doing.
you? Yes. Well, I
Well-
must tell you that unfortunately any attempts to escape are futile. There's way too many guards and all of the bars are reinforced steel. And
It was
steel
no
is
problem.
apparently a new thing that we just invented, and it's apparently a fusion of metals that's incredibly strong, and we stole it from the dwarves or something.
Yeah, it's like carbon or something.
I don't really know what it is, it's not really any of my business, but I'm just telling you that as a man who has done many daring escapes myself, that you should not try to escape from this place, particularly because you've just been invited to the royal lunch. And then he opens the door. So anyway, I will not be socializing, so go away now.
Clarence, I'll see you again.
No, you won't.
We're told.
I'm a background character, you will not see me again.
This is an anime movie. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, this is the movie!
Nobody's ever gonna see these guys again.
Alright, Roger, well, you sheepishly walk in, and just as Siobhan is asking where you are, you
Is there a
pass...
giant thing of ham?
No, you pass Lawrence on the piano, there is a giant turkey, though.
Alright, I'm going right for that.
Alright, great. Go for the turkey. Where do you sit?
When I see
Next to
him,
the
I'm
turkey.
going to
Next to the turkey. Yeah?
when she sees him, she's just gonna run over and give him a hug.
No, there's serving tables and there's an eating table. They're different.
Huh?
This man hasn't even plated up on turkey yet, and you hugging him?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Drop me a turkey.
You drop your turkey. Now what?
I don't know.
Can I roll a dexterity check to see if I can catch this?
Yeah, go ahead. Save the turkey.
This is the gameplay features.
This is the gameplay features for
Wait, I
real.
uploaded it to the wrong chat.
Something said that.
Yep.
Yep,
Physical
yep.
dice have failed me as well, so
Alright.
whatever. I got I guess that would be like A 9?
Yeah. Let me roll for the turkey. Kid, you just got outclassed by a turkey. It falls flat on the floor and the juice spills everywhere.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, anyway, while this is happening, I should Xerxes doing funny business.
Well, I had some questions I needed to ask.
Yeah, that's too bad though, because we're gonna go to Xerxes' stables. So we're gonna have to wait on this little plot
Just write down your
cliffhanger.
questions and then get ready to
That's
ask them.
actually true. Do that.
Eat it, toe muncher.
Well, they were the ones I was going to ask before you shot over to Grudger, so I'm kind of...
Oh, okay. Well, what were the questions?
Well, I was going to ask them what they talked about. That's why I was psychically connecting to Rainy.
Ah.
Yes.
Well, the whole point was that Roger was physically on his way over at the same time that you were psychically connecting to Rainy. You have to keep in mind, I'm juggling multiple scenes that are happening concurrently, but also every time we go back, it's before we're at the concurrent scene, so...
This is harder to keep track than The Witcher. Always jumping around between timelines, man. I don't know what's going on.
Literally like 30 minutes, it's so easy. Just like this group goes 30 minutes, and then the other guy goes 30 minutes, and look, we're here at the same place at the same time. It's like man. But are those questions still relevant, or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so would you like to psychically connect to Rainy while you're hugging Grudger?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, essentially, I saw that you were in the meeting with Thirsty, and, is he looking for Malachi?
Oh, I mean, yeah. We're gonna go to the Kyriil Plateau, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna use you as leverage to get the elves to open up a path into the Feywild so we can go find Malachi.
Oh, that's bad. Do you know when?
I don't know. Probably like tomorrow? I don't know. Today?
12 minutes.
I mean, it's gonna take us a while to get there.
Well, by then, hopefully Malachi would contact me and I could tell him. Okay. Alright, then. I suppose I'll have to figure out what I should do. If I need to. Are they planning on taking me along, or are they?
I don't know. I guess not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's better to keep me here for leverage, I suppose. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll be sure to communicate this information if I can. You all just stay strong and don't give them too much information about the army. Okay.
You and Grouch are actually sitting down now?
If he comes over to the table, I'll go with him.
Are you sitting, Grouter? Character defining moment. Nick?
Uh-oh.
Nick is dead. Moving on.
Perish.
Alright. Xerxes says, so, what do you wish to discuss?
Oh, two things mainly. First, the payment.
Yes.
Jesus.
I know, that's like, it's at the lowest setting. I can't get it any lower. I guess I can lower Chrome's volume. This is just a struggle. Lawrence is not having an easy time at the keyboard. What the heck is this? What the heck is this? It's got a weird AI voice in it. Dude, this is what I have to do to not get copyright struck, man.
A-E-I-O-U.
Alright, anyway. Payment something, what?
Just play some, like, Hatsune shit like that or whatever.
Nah, no thanks.
Walkie, 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 walkie.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, the payment.
Payment, yeah.
I have no need for the money myself. I'd much prefer if it went towards the church in a way. Perhaps a.
Donation.
I'd prefer if something more substantial and permanent was set up. Perhaps a youth like orphanage was built, or something that benefit both those in need and even yourself. Maybe a training facility for the youth to grow and gain necessary skills to survive in a world as chaotic as this.
Indeed. That could be arranged. I have certain members of land boards that I would need to consult, but should I gain their ear, I may have some land I could acquire for such a thing to be. I also have some skilled magicians to speed up the construction.
That would be most favorable.
Then consider it done.
Beyond that, as the initiator of such a daring and important task that you've given me,
Yes.
I find myself concerned with my company.
Indeed, and rightly so. I fear that many of their loyalties may in fact lie with our opposition, which is precisely why I want you to take them. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to let yourself get caught, deliver them into the hands of the Kyriil Plateau, and inform them that you're working personally for me. Have each one of them killed by the elves after you convince them that you are working with me with your royal seal. And he hands you a seal. And he says, "This belongs to you and only to you." There's a letter confirming that you're the only individual in whom I have placed my trust and that the others are traitors that need to be taken out, for they pose a threat to the elves on the plateau. Then expresses my interests to take action to prevent this threat. This is your real mission.
Wow, that definitely takes care of a few intimate concerns of mine. The other topic of discussion was I'd like to bring at least one person, perhaps a level of insurance, so to speak.
Absolutely. Who would you like?
Do I know of any like well-trusted elves or something?
Yeah, roll history.
The reason I say elf is because like they're
Yeah, they'll just buy
Gotta
you
be.
street cred immediately.
yeah. You said history?
Yep.
Oh my god, where the fuck is my tab? 11.
You do seem to recall that there are a few elves you've interacted with. Not that many. The elven population is a huge and loose sign. But, you ever made your way over to Quarterscare?
Probably?
Met a mercenary there once who was an elf, and he told you stories of his childhood growing up on the Kyriil Plateau. And he's one of the rare elves who left and didn't necessarily burn his reputation. He's not on great terms, but he said that he would probably be able to get you in if you ever need. Maybe you and him were working a job. Nah, I don't care. But he's a pretty reliable guy. Very straight shooter.
Incredible.
If you would like his name, I could give it to you. This is where my funny hee. For his name is Illithor.
Only
Yeah,
we could know who
Bob
that was.
Saget, please.
No, his name is Illithor. Illithor.
Cool. Got it.
And you seem to recall that he was working with Coruscare as a mercenary escort for some of their cargo. But since Coruscare just caught on fire, he may be in any number of places. You've had a way of gaining contact. Would definitely be a worthy candidate.
Who's Illithor?
It's someone that nobody knows about except John. Because Illithor was a character in John's game.
I know about him. What are you talking about?
You know about it.
The name
You do?
really sounds familiar.
It's because I bragged about him to you. I love him. He's my sweet summer child. He's my Orion Nightshade.
Oh, don't you name like your like Dark Souls characters Illithor?
Yes!
Yeah.
After him! Anyway.
Sick.
Yeah.
Wow. How far is 1,000 feet?
1,000 feet. 1,000 feet is 1,000 feet. It's a little under a mile. Or a little under half a mile, I believe. I'd say.
It's
1,000 feet?
it's a little under 0.2 miles.
Oh yeah, because miles are 5,200, not 2,500.
5 tomatoes.
Thank you.
Yep.
5280.
Oh.
That is a cool thing that I've never thought of or heard before.
Alright.
Well, yeah, so, cool. Illithor. Sure, let's do it.
Alright. Let's say that you're gonna need a few hours to get some contacts in place to maybe communication happen. But Xerxes, if you need to communicate him, will grant you the magician's able to contact people off of basic information. So if you give the information, he'll be able to like a what's the word? And then telepathically, be able to telepathically contact him.
Well, then I'll surely do that.
Alright. Then that we shall do during lunch. Alright, so Xerxes makes arrangements. You guys go off for a bit. And I'm trying to think. We jump to Malachi, because now a bunch of time has passed and he's probably way behind. Is that a good idea?
Sure.
Yeah.
I have an excuse. Shut off the music.
Just triple checking. So, my mission is to get caught, reveal that these guys are bad,
Yep.
and then legitimately show that I'm working with you, and then get permission for the army to move through.
Yep.
Did I miss anything?
Nope, because it's all to neutralize the threat. Everything is in Xerxes' sealed scroll. So he gave you a summary of what's on the scroll, and it basically says, "Hi, I'm intervening. If you'll let me, I'll deal with this threat to you."
Sick.
That's it. And give me one sec. Take my funny note. Alright. What has Malachi been doing from the hours of 11 a.m. to 12:30?
Well, they've been having
Long, drawn-out discussions.
a big meeting because they were starting to piece together things. The last thing that the last thing that Malachi did was he messaged Siobhan
Right.
and asked who her father was.
Right.
And she explained who he was, I think.
Remember what were the questions? I didn't write down. Gosh, you know what I really need is I really need a note taker that records important dialogue from my characters. I can't talk and speak at the same time.
You can't talk and speak at the same time?
Can't.
Give me $1.
Well, in this case, it is written in the sendings what him and Siobhan did.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. I need what Beta said. Beta made a bunch of suggestions, I remember. I think maybe he just contextualized probably what his father would do, if I recall.
Yes, that's what he did. He said they're in no immediate concern
Yeah,
to run.
they would
Can't
need a
talk
plan.
and speak at the same time.
Oh, is that what I said? Ugh.
Yeah, and I repeated it back to you, and you said yes.
Yeah, I didn't process it. Let me clarify, just so it's on the record. I can't talk and write at the same time.
You know, maybe you can't talk and speak. At the same
I
time.
can't. There's too much words. Brain can't handle it. Can't talk and speak at the same time. Ugh. Maybe I will pay Nick $1 a week to record notes. We'll do that. Think about it.
For rent money.
4 weeks, you get $4. You can pay more. I could pay him an hourly minimum wage to be my scribe.
Minimum rage.
I'm trying. Words is hard. Okay, so let's just assume that the bickering has continued and these discussions have continued. Malachi joined back in. I think he was talking more intimately. I know he talked with Raven.
I had asked Raven, and I think
Learned a bunch about the elves.
Well, she didn't know. She didn't know specific. Well, yeah, she explained the different types of elves. So I'm gonna take Dryad and include her in the conversation with the rest of the leaders, because if it involves Xerxes getting into the Feywild, she is expert on getting in and out.
Right. Okay. So high level, what's happening in the bickering sessions, which the Raven is kind of included in, but he's more of a witness. The group is kind of mulling over what their options are, and haven't really landed on anything concrete. The amount of time they have. The only thing that's determined is they cannot fight, or Vitrus would go like crazy. So if there's going to be a place of battle where they want to engage, it can't be here. Because if anything happens to the farmland, I mean, unless they just kill Vitrus, is a legitimate topic on the table. But
Who suggested that one?
Malik.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
So, like, Malik is basically like, listen, it's obvious that we cannot fight here unless this becomes our own grounds. I'm just saying it's a possibility that we need to consider. I'm not saying it doesn't have its own trade-offs.
Malik sounds a lot like Xerxes today. I'm going to smack him at the back of his head
Oh, what was that for?
and be like, yeah, no.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's something we actually pursue. I'm just saying it's something that we can pursue. And it's best to have all the options in the air, in an open dialogue.
All I'm saying is you've gone several years without a slap to the back of your head, and it shows.
All right. All I'm saying is that I'm speaking freely, and I don't think we need to respond to anything that's said with physical violence.
Mm,
What do you
Brother-
mean?
brotherly violence is different. Regardless,
No, it's not.
regardless, I've just spoken to Siobhan. Vespa, were you aware of her actual identity?
Who are we talking about?
Young girl, she went with Grodger.
Oh.
Were you aware of her actual identity?
I knew that she could cast spells, which she
Oh.
asked me to keep a secret.
Yes. Now I'm.
What do you mean, do you know her identity? Who is she?
Well, it turns out that her father is a member of the High Elven Council on the Kyriil Plateau. It seems that we have unintentionally provided a very powerful chess piece and delivered her directly into the hands of Xerxes.
Oops, says Danuk.
I trusted Graja not to get them caught.
The heartache heard around the world. Groucher, while munching down on his turkey, just grabs his chest and goes, "Ugh!"
Someone's talking about me.
So I don't know. I somehow I feel like trying to.
And getting them caught.
I feel like
So-
trying to break them out might be quite difficult.
I don't think that's an option. What's the danger of their situation? Some of them been killed? Are they all prisoners?
Well, no. Last I heard, I believe he said most of them had been captured. I don't know if who's not been, but I know Siobhan is in the castle. I know that Graja is there as well. Um, it is possible that so is Rainy. I'm not sure about who else is there. But my concern is that we know for a fact that Xerxes has his men trying to look for us.
Yes, I understand that's not ideal, but to be fair, having someone in the castle is actually quite ideal. Especially because of your weird telepathic speech. That means we have an inside man, or elven 14-year-old girl. And on the other hand, that's not great because it means she's stuck there with Ravenna, which is never good.
Ravenna.
You'll never guess who's.
Yeah, I know who said that. And
Yeah.
Malachi's going to go, is your sister still a twat?
Yes. Always has been.
I know.
Yeah, not Ben said that.
I'm also concerned because with her youthfulness, sure, it might lend her some air of innocence and keep her safe for now, but she's an half elf. I don't know. What was she expelled for her parentage? What if she's not the bargaining chip that we think she is? And
Well, wouldn't that just mean that Xerxes has less power? Isn't that ideal?
but
Or
now
it could mean that he finds no use for her and kills her.
and I'm
I don't-
concerned because she is one of our few casters in the army.
I never knew that she could cast at all. I confronted
It's-
her once about her being here, extremely reclusive and refused to speak to me. I just
I wouldn't
kept
have
her
sent
around
her
as a form of
otherwise.
charity.
Well, we cannot fault ourselves for the information we were not privy to.
If she didn't share it, then yes. And if Vespa made the decision without knowing who she was, it's more information she didn't share. Her lack of transparency will be her own undoing.
It is true.
Or it will be our advantage. Either ways, we can only deal with what's on the table currently, and frankly, I don't see it as a downside at all.
Well, knowing that they're looking for us, and
That is the
being,
more difficult.
so I suppose, would I know that the elves know how to get to the Feywild? Is that something I would know?
Roll history. With advantage.
Okay, I'm going to roll history with advantage, just like I've done for many years. Just like I've always done. Nothing different, just breathe.
Low roll.
It's a basic history roll.
Basic low roll.
All you gotta do. 14. Wait, you said advantage.
Yes. You're
Please
pretty
don't-
sure that. Okay. Do it again.
It's 14.
Alright. You're pretty sure that they know how, but there's a catch, and you're trying to remember what the catch is. Either the catch is they know how and they just don't, or they knew how but they forgot. You don't really know which one it is.
I'm going to turn to Drya, darling, as someone who's able to somehow freely traverse between the Feywild. What do you know of the elves of the Kyriil Plateau and their abilities to...
Oh, unfortunately, very little. It's not as if I've been there myself, at least not the. Well, no, I haven't been to either, frankly. But all that I know is about the Feywild Kyriil Plateau, which is. Many think it is similar, but it's very different. I know very little of the elves in the material plane.
I think it's time for us to truly start strategizing. How about some of us? Well, we need a plan of defense, a plan of attack, and, if possible, a plan for rescuing those who are captured.
We need a plan of defense. How much time do we exactly have? Time we have will determine strategy, yes?
What time of day is it?
It is like 12:30,
Okay.
like midday.
All right.
Beta says, knowing my father, if he has the information that we think he has, he'll be pretty fast to shut this down.
As I imagine. And I'm considering, I have to assume the worst. If he has gotten information from those captured, he may as well know just about all of our actions so far. We also know that Cagliari is there, so at least he knows up to.
That's not good. Wasn't that the satyr?
Yes.
Alright. Assuming that Xerxes has every piece of information on us, and all he needs to do is set in place a course of action. Beta, how much time do you think we have? No more than 2 days.
So here's what I'm thinking. I can essentially remove myself from a lot of the strategy just for now and spend the rest of our time uh, communicating with all the relevant people and just act as a sort of line of communication. Yes, exactly. And perhaps we can coordinate with them as necessary. Uh, what I am thinking of immediately is contacting Siobhan's father.
Are you able to do that?
I just need to know who the person is, I believe.
You don't need to have met them.
Let me see if I do need to see them, if I need to have seen them. Oh, crap. It says someone with whom I'm familiar. How do you define familiar?
I've met them.
Have met them.
I've seen a picture of them, know their name, know what they sound like.
Is there possibly any elf I know who is in the Kyriil Plateau?
Absolutely not.
Hmm.
They are the most reclusive group in Mandril, more reclusive than the dwarves, which is not a small statement.
Can I send for gosh. Can I send for, we gave him a name, Garfield.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna bring Garfield over?
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. Alright, you send for Garfield.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Garfield makes his way over. Yes, what is it that you need, my son? I have no futures to tell. That power has been passed on to you.
Well, rather, I need you to tell me a bit about the past, about the elves of the Kyriil Plateau, and uh, I know that the elves are a long-lived bunch. Is it possible that there's anyone that you know would still be alive and
Yes, it is absolutely possible, but there are few who are older than me. I am 912, Malachi. I have seen many things.
mhm.
It's unlikely that those who I know are still in their positions. I have not been to the Cairo Plateau in over 700 years. I left at the young age of 200, after the political squabbles became too much to bear. Somebody write this down.
This is that moment. Nick, I will Venmo you.
Say it again.
Sit down. Well, the summary is Garfield is 912 years old.
Okay.
And he hasn't been to the Kyriil Plateau in 700 years. This is the kind of stuff I unironically need people to write down. I can write it down, but it's going to take me so long. Specific character details of minor characters. Because I always have an idea of the character, but when I have to put numbers to it, I cannot remember.
Does he have
I'm-
kids?
No, not that I know. Not that I'm writing down right now.
Good.
Listen,
gonna go
all that matters is what I
find
have said.
our spear trainer,
Yeah.
Thane Whitlock, the Tabaxi from the Kyriil Plateau.
Okay. Word. He's using the document.
Actually, perfect.
Yo, he's using the document. He's using the roster. All right. What's his name? How do you spell it?
Faene
Thane Whitlock.
WH. Yeah.
Yeah. Get it. All right. You hurry up, Thane. Let's go. All right. In the midst of this discussion, Thane makes his way over. Says, "You all need something?"
Would you know who was in power when you left the Kyriil Plateau?
In power, as in my chief.
No. Specifically, the High Elven Council.
Haha. We did not coexist with the elves in that. Their walls were not enough to stop us from climbing up, but their soldiers were. I lived on the west side of the plateau. My tribe was a group of hunter-gatherers.
Is this still
Simple
Garfield?
No, this is Fane. This
Oh.
is a Tabaxi hunter. This is also stuff to write down. All right, new rule. I don't know who wants to be the designated write down guy, but if there's a minor character who is giving specific detailed information, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna create a section in the Google Doc sheet. It is just going to be like characters, and each character is gonna be, I don't know, maybe each character should be a row or each character should be a column, but I'm gonna name it character details. This should also help you because then you have a written spot where it's like, oh yeah, that minor character we've interacted with 7 times. Is there anything I should know about them that they've said? It'll be here. Like, it'll just be here. So, I don't know how to format that, but for right now, I'm just going to write it down. I'm going to write Garfield, and I'm going to write Fane as columns. And then if you want to add details to them, you can. And just make each character a column, and then we'll figure out of session how to record that information. But that way it's written down. All right. So anyway, yeah. Fane says he did not interact with the
Unfortunate.
and he lives on the west end of the plateau.
And is there some way that we could get to the Kyriil Plateau?
Plateau, yes.
From the Feywild.
From the. I don't know anything about that. This is my first time here. What I do know is that getting to the Kyriil Plateau back home isn't too hard, but you need to be a good climber. And getting on the plateau is different from getting up in the business of the elves. See, the elves have a major city. I don't remember what it's called. It's something weird. It has a apostrophe in it or something. The walled city. Something like something. That's a city that nobody can get in. Outside of that city, there's a lot of forest where my people roam. The elves usually let us tend to ourselves. They don't have a problem there, but get too close to the gates and there's issues. They also have other settlements that are allowed to touch. Mountain fortress forts. Fairly impressive. You would think it's dwarven, but elvish. Sometimes I wonder if that place was run by the dwarves and the elves took over. Very interesting stuff. But if you need to do business with the elves, I don't think I can help. I'm getting a sense that's what this conversation is.
Right. I'm gonna look at Dryad. Are you able to get to the Kyriil Plateau?
Yes, it's just a long walk, but we could travel through the Feywild and make it there in a few days' time.
A few days' time. We don't know how that's going to affect time on the other side. It could be too late by the time we get there.
Yes, it has been fairly consistent, but I'm not sure how long that's. The Mandril is very stable. To be honest, I really noticed many fluctuations, but you know how unpredictable things.
But do we have any operatives on the outside? Vespa, Orion, with our connections? Malik, any other army people? Are there any other people on the outside? Beta, what about
Connections to the plateau specifically?
anyone who might have some sort of link? Beta, what about one of your siblings who's on your side? Is there any way we could?
I don't know what my siblings have been up to. Unfortunately, my time with the rebellion did not yield any contacts from the elves. Same here. They're very unresponsive. I mean, I've met quite a few elves. There should be some here, at least half elves, but most of them are runaways, rejects, exiles, or they simply didn't grow up on the Pyro Plateau.
And even in the old days, there were never any interactions with the Kyrill Plateau. Like back when I was younger and
Oh, heck no.
no.
No. It's like unheard of. Most of the contact is one way. And it's usually secondhand information.
I was just wondering if there were like any emissaries or anything.
They don't play like that. Like for reference, they have. It has pretty much been passed down the grapevine that they think the rest of Mandril is doomed. Their main concern is human infighting, and dwarven meddling. Because the dwarves destroy everything they come across and build a bunch of garbage, and humans kill each other, and everyone else is just savages. So they do not leave their fortress, and they hate war. And all Mandril has done for a long time. I mean, Mandril has a lot. You guys maybe haven't seen it, but your characters would know. Mandril has a lot of very tribal societies. You have had the privilege of walking in civilized Mandril, and there's a reason for that. You're all civilized people. You've interacted with some of the bugbears. In the north, in the snow-capped mountains, it's exclusively tribal. Tarshiv, extremely tribal. Segments of the Kyrill Plateau, tribal. Grafton, civilized, but tons of infighting. Sour Swamps, bullywogs, tribal. Like everywhere you go, there's tribes of people fighting each other for land, and even the civilizations don't like each other. I mean, Coruscant is constantly at war with blah 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 blah. The Gith across sea. Coruscant, Cunning Greek have a good relationship, but they've always been uneasy with Lucine. Tarshiv doesn't like anyone. Um, so Lucine is always in this state of uneasy peace. Or no, this Mandrill is always in this state of uneasy peace, but it's not like sunshine and rainbows out here. And the elves have been watching for hundreds of years, and they've watched kingdoms rise and fall.
Question: do they? Okay, and tell me if this is too far of a stretch. Is it possible that as I guess like as a seer, as a prophet of Bahamut now, is it possible that I could try to send a message that way to like some cleric? I mean, there's no chance I would, we would get to, but
Right.
Could I
Just,
try
just a
to?
prayer that your plight be received by someone.
Yeah, a cleric of the elves. So maybe I try to, you know.
That's a roll for divine intervention.
So is that the D100 or do you want
That's the D100. It's not a crazy chance. It's not great, but you're level 7, so it's a 7 in 100 chance. It's a little bit less than a 1 in 10. Crazy.
Okay.
Just not likely. 39.
30.
No.
Mm,
But roll a
okay.
religion check.
21.
Yep. All right. Well, let me ask this before jumping on your character. Would you like to contact Siobhan?
Yeah.
You get a deep feeling in your gut that you should contact Siobhan.
Okay.
Diddle-ding, diddle-ding.
And
Hello.
after that feeling, you feel yourself kind of innately metering out what you need to do to cast sending without it being a ritual spell. Something clicks, and during that moment of clarity, figure out what you can do to just cast it as a spell slot.
So I can cast a spell slot. Okay.
Or as a ritual spell.
Okay.
And this time it's free. So if you want to cast Ascending, send it off.
Okay. So I can send to her like right now?
Yep.
Okay. Well, would you give the information I'm looking for? Because I didn't come up with anything.
What do you mean?
If he wants to know who else is on the High Elven Council or
Oh, I thought you wanted to contact Siobhan about other stuff.
well, I can. I just was wondering if I asked her that stuff. You don't have that stuff prepared, so I won't ask.
It doesn't really matter what I have prepared. It's what you want.
Okay.
But it's also what your character, what Siobhan knows.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm just gonna contact her.
Okay.
And I'm going to say
Okay, rule of thumb. No one in this group should ever operate based on what they think I have prepared. That's a bad way to play D&D. Don't do that. Do what your character would do. Always.
fair. Okay.
Don't overestimate how much I have prepared. I have a lot prepared that is at a very high level. I specifically don't prepare low level stuff because it's a waste of my anyway.
So I'm going to essentially ask Siobhan, have you received any word about Xerxes' movements towards us in the face? Also, who else has been?
Cutting out again. I heard also who else has been.
I said also.
Yeah. No.
Also, who?
Didn't come through at all.
Who else has been captured with you?
There you go. Dude, that's probably like 26. Oh no, that's 22. Look at that. Where is it? No, it is. Alright, yep. Valid. And answer.
Who else has been captured with us?
Luke,
I'm gonna
Valere,
say-
Roger. They're the ones that are, well, yeah, Roger's eating now. But Luke and Valere
Yeah.
still in jail.
I'm just gonna say all of us are in the castle. And then I'm going to say I've heard they plan to use me as a bargaining chip and access the Feywild through the Kyriil Plateau. They may be leaving tomorrow.
That's 26 words. Access the Feywild through the Kyriil is the last thing that pops up. So, I mean, that communicates
Okay.
the message.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Malachi, that's what you got.
All right, so I'm gonna tell everybody that.
Huh. So we know what he's planning. Excellent. The only question is, how do we counter? Do we surprise him by making it to the Kyriil Plateau before him, or do we avoid it like the plague? What if we get to the elves first?
Then, if we're able to sway them to our side, and I think we can, because we aren't holding Siobhan captive, we can say that she's in trouble. But also, the fact that we come from the Feywild, perhaps that might lend some credibility to us.
Possibly. Certainly. The difficulty is, so far as I recall, their means of accessing the Feywild was sequestered off somewhere outside of the main city, but within, I don't know what they call the area in the plain. Here it's a sort of plateau within plateau, if that makes sense. I explain. There's a valley, and in the Feywild, that valley leads to where their temple was. This is history passed down for many years, so forgive me if I don't recall. I believe that they had a means of entering the Feywild near the temple, but not in it. The difficulty is that getting to that section of the plateau is the most difficult. Here in the Feywild, there's a sort of terraced sections of plateaus, and climbing the last one is not easy. It's hundreds of feet tall, not 1,000, and it's flanked by mountains on the side, with the only way in being that narrow valley.
What if the Raven could
Well,
carry?
if we used the Raven, then that would be ideal. I think that would work. The only issue is they have the endurance to fly us for that long. I mean, I suppose we could certainly take breaks, but then yes, accessing the plateau itself would not. But it would be long journey. Never travelled a distance like that in such a quick burst. I'm not sure if it goes mad.
Vesper, would you want to go along on that mission as well, or would you stay and manage? Was that audible or no?
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Huh? What?
You hear me ask Vesper a question?
Sorry, I didn't think he was talking to me. I was writing notes. What was the question?
Would you want to go on that mission to the Kyriil Plateau, or would you want to stay and manage things here? Because we
It might be
always
best
leave it.
if I stay.
Okay. All right. But it looks like everyone is captured.
Raven is here. He flies over upon
Yes.
hearing his name, the Raven and Infernus, the Goof Troop. He says, "Well, I could fly you with some of my, although I am sure the elves would not be pleased to see me. The good news that that section is now in ruin. There are many creatures down there which may not be pleasant. They would
Wait
bring
a
me
moment.
no. Hmm?
Is that where I was supposed to go anyway?
What do you mean?
Is that where the old city is?
The
Where
old
the ruins are?
city, yes. But I do not know what you
Supposed.
Well, in order to secure these lands for the army, I told Vidrus Dumbledon that I would go into the old city and see if I could find some old spells, some
The
magic, some.
old city or the new city. They are very different things in very different places.
I remember it being ruins.
BM is not certain of that.
Because I was supposed to look in the ruins, I think.
No. You were told to go to the Grand Archive.
Oh.
The Grand Archive is in the new city.
Oh, okay. Well, scratch that, Raven.
Ruins were mentioned. The ruins are a whole separate thing.
Mm.
This is where it would be great if I had someone writing down the things that said so that. But that doesn't happen. We're gonna have to figure out how to organize it though. But this is the stuff I'm talking about, where that way that's written down, so then John can go, "What did he say?" And there's a document, and it's like, "Oh look, Vitrus said that we need to get this specific thing from this specific place." And
Yeah.
that's like necessary.
Wait, actually, we do have that specifically written down somewhere, I think. Nope.
Maybe. Don't know. It might be better to have a Google Doc, but like I said, we'll figure out formatting later. I just want it written down at this point, because that has actually been the number one problem with me planning things, is backpedaling and looking what I said to confirm everything is lining up with canon and I'm not treading over the same water. Like important, specific details being consistent. So it's recorded, written down. Easy. But anyway, yes, the ruins are different. The ruins were abandoned years ago, and I think I told you through some character that they like somewhat mirror the ruins in the actual cities in the material plane.
Yeah.
So, yes. It was a different place. Raya says, "It's several miles. I would imagine 20 perhaps? Not quite sure. Well, that's a specific number. 50 to 100? I don't know." Raven says, "That is no small distance. I could fly 40 in a day, perhaps. 50 with a strong wind. Maybe more. But if I'm carrying weight, as are my brethren, things different."
Mm. Mm-hmm. And the party with Bloppleton and all of them, how far have they gotten away from the Kyriil Plateau by now? Like, very far.
Very far. They're also walking. We're not updating them because they're walking along the river probably all day today, and at the butt crack of dawn / 3 or 4, 2 or 3 hours before that, they arrive at Namir and crash. So they're just following the river through the plains.
It won't make sense trying to ask them to double back.
Take them way longer than you. So.
Okay. Okay. I guess we continue discussing, and if, like, for instance, would I know Rainy well? Would I know Smart Fellow well enough to, like, send to them?
No. Unless they were both in your group that you did your rousing speech to. So if you're a good leader and you shook their hands and asked them their names,
They would have all. They also all would have been at the wedding.
Would have been at the wedding. So you're familiar with them. Here's what I'm going to make you do. Know what they look like. Because you know that there's a blue dragonborn. And you know that FS has a brother. But you got to remember their names. Now, Smart Fellow's easy because you remember he's Smart Fellow. But good, you got to remember Rainy's name or you can't send to her.
Spanish was Perdalian Verthitha Thurgiesh.
It's fine if you just know that her nickname is Rain. You have to have some name associated. So roll a history check to see if you remember
So I
Rain's
learned
name.
all of that for no reason.
I mean, hey, if you want me to make the requirement harder so that you can justify learning the full name, then sure.
Okay, fine. I'll roll
You
it.
must roll know their
true
Their true name, their God-given name.
Oh, great. No, it's a 4.
Yeah,
Landed on
her name's like
Yep.
Blue or something. Lily.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, blue.
Okay.
Yeah, but SF. You know that guy. Got to roll for him. So, you gonna contact him?
Mm-hmm.
Like now?
Take 5 minutes and do it.
Alright, take 5 minutes and do it. Well, you take 5 minutes and do it, and smart fella, you hear a voice in your head while you're eating whatever it is that you're eating.
Oh boy.
What does the voice say, please?
To smart fella, this is Malachi de Lumiere, a friend of your brother. Keep this information secret. Can you update me on your goings on?
Is that all?
I think that's
20.
yeah.
Alright, smart, what do you got?
All right, so when he first hears the voice, he goes, "Huh?" Just like out loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then he stops and just like tries to play it off, kind of.
Yeah.
So what Malachi said, this is Malachi, keep it secret, keep you up to date, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
You're at 1 so far.
What?
What? You got 24 more.
Wait, no, it doesn't
Alright,
work. Because he said that
Oh,
out loud.
well.
You didn't think that?
Hey,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Malachi,
Counterpoint, it's funny.
It is
we're on a secret mission to go to the Kyriil Plateau.
To go to the Kyriil Plateau.
I'm not a big fan of the zombie lady. And there's a lot of weird people
Oh, out
here.
of words. I'm not a big fan of the zombie lady. So what? Hey, Mr. Malachi, we're on a secret mission to go to the Kyriil Plateau. I'm not a big fan of the zombie lady. That's it. Update complete. What do you think, Malachi?
Mission complete.
Yeah. This is great. This is great information that I've just received. I am very happy with the information that I received.
You did learn about the zombie lady.
Oh yeah. And Furnace walks over and says, I was looking for a place to talk, but I did not want to interrupt. I'll have you know that the fires I spread were not pointless. In my defense, I was warding off creatures of the... What else to call them? They were not displaceables. Fire seemed to scare them. Things just got out of hand.
There
All right, those creatures
lies
in the
the
room with us
issue.
right now.
What was that?
Are any of those creatures in the room with us right now?
No, but you can't see them. Visible. Makes them difficult to kill.
Yes.
You
yes.
think I'm crazy, don't you?
Yes.
Oh, in fairness,
Crazy.
I
I just think you took it too far.
I don't think you're crazy.
I did what was necessary. Could have seen how many of them there were. I was stabbed. I have proof. And then he unfroze and he goes, "No, wait, I long rested it healed."
I was going to say we couldn't see them because you said they're invisible.
I said you could have seen the proof. I suffered a wound, but I healed because I slept for 8 hours, and in this world that means you heal fully.
It's amazing. It's amazing
I
what a good night's rest will do.
I believe you, but this is why we have allied with the Raven and his ravens there
I
to
will tell
protect
you,
us.
the Raven could have done nothing against us.
What is this foe you speak of?
The invisible killers. They stabbed me.
I know of no such creatures. Though perhaps they simply stay away from me due to their innate fear of my power.
I sincerely doubt that. They could have taken you and all of your birds out. There were just so many of them. The only thing I could do to stop them was the wall of fire. They were repelled by it instantly.
Would you know that they were repelled if they were invisible?
I can see the wind. The wind moved. See the flicker of the flame as they retreat back silently, but you feel the fear.
As you explain more, I believe you less.
You don't understand. One day we may face them again, and know that the knowledge I give you will save your lives. I ask for no thanks.
Did I teach FS how to use message?
Let's open his character sheet and find out. I think you did. Verify before I say it.
Because while we're having this meeting, I'm gonna like write some symbols down.
Oh yeah, he knows it.
Yeah, message.
I was gonna leave him some homework to work on.
Okay, alright, yep.
So I basically, while all of this is happening and everyone's kind of discussing, and we haven't come to a serious thing, I'm writing on a sheet of paper, just like what to do what to do to cast shield. So I'm writing like, here are the verbal words, and I'm like doing little drawings of the gestures that you would have to do. And then I'm gonna give it to him and be like, you should work on this while we discuss. Mm-hmm.
Oh, where'd he go? Here he is.
Ugh.
Here he is.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Malachi.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say to all of them, Xerxes' greatest strength, well, one of his most powerful assets is the sheer number of spellcasters he has on his side. We must do all that we can to equip the spellcasters that we have here with us.
I agree. Perhaps there are more who are simply hiding their abilities.
That would be my hope. Perhaps, Vesper, you can investigate a little further?
Or Invespergate.
With that, Malik?
Yeah.
I hit him again.
Ah, that one's not fair. That one's good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do I need to roll for like how well I communicated the spell work, or?
You know what you're doing.
Okay, cool.
Andy Garfield. Alright, so some time has passed. Probably like 1 p.m. Everybody ate. Which means this table, I don't know if this table's still here. There's not really anything else going on. Sable and Xerxes are wrapping up their chores. Xerxes has gotten an individual who appears to be able to cast some weird variant of sending. It actually enables him to contact Elithor, despite the fact that it's clear he's never met him. This individual introduces himself as Clarence. There's this weird conversation you guys have. Well, I guess I'll actually do the interaction. I won't brush past it. Xerxes is introducing you to Clarence and telling you what he can do and this and that. And Clarence says, "Yes, before we begin, I must let you know that Troy has hit his third strike, as I'm sure you know.
Yes, very talented individual, but I'm glad you've been keeping tabs on him. It's clear that the job just may not be fit for him. It's fine. I have other purposes to him. He is a valuable asset. But yes, dock his pay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, very good. Now, anyways, so Mr. Sable, you have described this individual. Before I attempt to cast the spell, let me confirm. You have an elf, medium build, sandy hair, very yellow at the roots, extremely pointy ears, golden yellow eyes. He was wearing brigandine, dark green, with a small shield, uses a rapier. His name is Ilithor. He's fairly young for an elf, you would say 50s or 60s. All of that is accurate, yes?
Yes, the name's Illithor
Like
again.
reading of a character
Yes,
sheet
yes,
or
yes.
something.
Very good. Very
I
good.
was able to write any of that down.
Yeah, I don't need to write any of that down. He's my special little guy. I know all about my special little guy.
Do I know if a dock pay is normal for a third strike?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Really? That feels so, like, small.
Strikes are big things. So.
Well, yeah, but like a docked pay is like not that bad.
Oh,
You're
pretty
saying you want to
small.
punish
I see.
more.
He's a very special little guy. I mean, he's also being fired from his job and moved elsewhere.
You need to harvest him then.
But he's making even less money at his new job.
Could wear his skin.
There's lots of stuff. Anyway, very well. And what message would you like me to relay to this Ilithor?
Where he can probably just meet us at the Pyro Plateau, right?
Possibly. But you would have to designate some point outside of the plateau if you're gonna try to use him to get in.
Good point. Do I know of a good like middle ground between?
You could meet him. This is where things get. And I think the best way to illustrate that would be to stop sharing this and to start sharing this and move it over here. This, as you see, is the map of Map. This is the Kyriil Plateau. Now, you may notice that you're really not that far physically off, because the special temple's right here. That's only like maybe 50 to 70 miles away from Lucine. Problem is, it's completely surrounded by mountains. And then there's a desert, still mountains, and then there's the actual plateau part of the plateau, which is not really easily climbable. And then, at the top, above this mountain range, which you cannot easily pass through, though you can technically pass through, is Kyriil, the Elven Gate and Super Fortress, which is the only way into the Kyriil Plateau without flying or climbing. So, the difficulty of where to meet outside is tough, because your options are forest in the middle of mountains, a river by the Lucine Asylum, this, that. You could meet by the river at the Lucine Asylum, and then follow the river up, but then stop following it, trek through the mountains, and then go to Kyriil. Would work. Otherwise,
Is that the fastest way to Kyriil?
Probably, because even if you fly, if they can get you stuff, you're still going to be flying over the same mountains, probably, right over Kyriil, because you cannot fly over Elven territory. They will kill you.
Yeah.
So you pretty much still have to get dropped off.
Alright, well, that'll probably be the plan then.
So, tell them to meet you at the asylum. Outside the main gates of the asylum.
Yes.
Works.
Meet me outside the Lucine Asylum in as soon as you can.
Saying anything else about the job?
Yes. Expect to be working with. And I give a little look around, see if anybody's listening.
Right. Nobody is listening. You're in a nice private room. Just you, Xerxes, and Clarence.
Unfriendly company. Yeah, I mean, that's basically all he needs to know for now.
Okay, so meet me outside the Lucine Asylum as soon as you can. Expect to be working friendly. Is that all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Clarence is now going to ask you to take his hand with an open palm and then basically grasp it. And then he is going to channel your voice through his sending. Once that is
Whoa.
done, he is going to speak as Ilithor responding, saying, "High paying job? Question mark. I'm out of work. Coruscare is fried. So, if the pay is right, done."
And I look at Xerxes.
And Xerxes is like, "Offer him 2,500 gold." All right. And Clarence immediately. So whatever you say, Clarence says.
How's 2,500 gold sound? Plus the thought of a bonus when it comes to possible items along the way.
I'm in. I can be there by sundown if I steal a horse. But I'll probably just buy one if you can get me 2,500 gold. I should probably say it in his voice. Hold on. Let me actually write it down. Horse. Buy one if you get me that gold. I'm in. I can be there by sundown if I steal a horse, but I can buy one if you get me that gold.
I'll see you soon.
All right. Well, in that case, we'll make arrangements for you to meet at the asylum. I can potentially get you a dragon, but obviously you won't be flying. I don't have many to spare, but with this being the importance that it is and that we move swiftly, I think it is for the best. Although I may be able to use another resource that I've fairly recently been testing out.
How long will it take to climb to Kyrimas?
Climbing shouldn't be an issue so long as you're dropped off the north side of the mountain. The issue you will be having is getting through the gate. If you use this Ilithor well, maybe it won't be a problem. I don't think that they commonly welcome outsiders. But if you have someone who retains citizenship, then maybe find a way. This is a gamble, but if you think it'll work, I'll trust your judgment.
I think it would work fine. My concern is more of they likely won't let us in with a dragon.
Indeed, I have other arrangements that I could make. A few strings to pull. Something a little bit less intimidating than the dragon, but
Well,
equally effective in their transportation ability.
do understand, I'm not rejecting the thought of a dragon. I would just prefer not to walk through the front gates with it.
Indeed, I would agree. Should I not be able to spare the dragon, or should I not be able to spare my alternative, either way, you will be dropped off a mile or two away from the gate, behind one of the mountains. That way you may walk unassumedly up. Does that sound suitable?
Indeed.
In which case, you have the rest of the day to prepare. By nightfall, I will ensure that I have a ride for you and your group to make your way to the gates of the asylum. From there, that same ride will escort you to Kyrimas. We will be well on our way to dealing with this threat. Don't fail me, Sable, or that will be strike one.
I don't plan to.
He reaches out to shake your hand.
I'll lightly grasp it.
Lightly grasp it.
Yeah.
He gives you a solid.
Firmly grasp it.
Gives you a solid 3-pump firm handshake, a la a certain captain, whose name shall not be mentioned on stream. You know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
What?
Oh,
The Baptin. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm not gonna dox him.
I never had him.
Yeah.
Me neither.
He was quite the character. All right. Well, in that case, now we await nightfall. Now the question is it suitable to do a time skip for everyone? Except Siobhan wants to try to get out and find a garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Like 8 miles away from his.
Where has she gone?
All right, I think Ravenna, I just killed her. Well, maybe she is on the map. Got close
Yeah,
all these.
we still see the map.
Oh yeah, the recording sees the real bitmap maker. That makes sense.
Care about
I
the
was here the whole time.
spots.
Yeah, I probably killed Ravenna. I'll go grab her.
Oh yeah, you did. You moved her out in the hallway and killed her. I
Yeah.
watched it.
Yeah, I'm a hero like that. Anyway,
Honestly,
right.
do it again.
I think it's time to do some time skip shenanigans. Everything is kind of set up in place. We'll get Siobhan out to the garden. Have Ravenna come out. She'll say after lunch. Well, after lunch, does Siobhan go to her room?
Can you say that again?
After lunch, does Siobhan go to her room?
Yeah, unless they have something else they want her to do,
Nope.
she would go to her room and just be
Right.
reading.
Roger is shown a guest room. And he's actually bunking with Smart Fella. So Rainey and
Huzzah.
Cagliari are bunking. I don't know if you guys want to do anything. Obviously you can, but I'm autopiloting until you tell me that you want to do anything. For the sake of time.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Roger,
I would like to
Smart
craft a
fella get new
gun.
clothes.
You cannot craft it. What was that, John?
The smart fella get new clothes.
Yes, he did. They're on his bed.
Ah, fresh.
Yeah. And Roger, there are men stationed in the bathroom. So, where?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, great. All right. Well, with preparations being made all over, such and such, and yada yada, updating our other group. Other group is walking all day. Extremely boring. Long walk. However, the bugbears reach the edge of the forest and are pretty much tapped out. So they'll say, "Hey, you know, Dweeby, if you return, you're the chief. But otherwise, we're gonna sub in Chief 2 as the chief." So let it be
Chief
known.
2.
Yeah, Chief 2.
Sick.
B10, B7, and Chief 2. So yes, if you return, you're welcome in their camp, and they'll let other people know to look out for a crazy-eyed dwarf with an axe. That he's cool.
My eyes aren't crazy.
Sure.
They just
maniac.
both look
Uh-huh.
downwards.
Both looking opposite
Uh-huh.
directions at the same time.
Alright, so anyway, that group is walking for hours. This group is doing logistics planning, so whatever that may entail, we definitely have time to cut back and forth. If Malachi wants to do any other sendings throughout the day, we can do those. But
Big
otherwise,
montage.
it's gonna be like 3 p.m. and Ravenna knocks on Siobhan's door and then immediately enters without waiting for the response.
Cool.
Like a real villain. And then says, "You still want to go to the garden?
Yes.
Let's go."
I'm going to leave Luna here. And I'm just gonna whisper, I don't trust her.
Good instinct.
I don't want her to accidentally attack you while with her, so
Leave the door slightly.
I will.
All right. Okay. Ravenna says, "All right, let's go." This place is super cool. It's on the edge of the city. They have a bunch of fruit or whatever, but they also have dream house. Place gorgeous. I steal stuff from there all the time. Kinda cringe. We don't have any gardens of our own, so it's far. I've asked Daddy for a garden, but he keeps saying that he needs room for barracks. Still hasn't built the barracks, so I don't understand why I can't have a garden. The barracks haven't been there, so damn. Anyway. Alright, and she now effortlessly guides you to a lower level of the palace that you've never seen before. Halls, you pass by what appears to be a throne room. Lots of the others are double sets of wooden doors that are completely shut, with guards flanking. Eventually, you go down a spiral staircase. After a lot of walking, enter a large main gate at the foot of the mountain with a huge portcullis. At this point, though, you have gotten into a carriage off of a little side area. Are now making your way down a main ramp, Ravenna, back of a carriage, on your way to the city of Lutine.
Can I say I took a short rest at some point?
Yes, this would be the time to do it. Have like a half an hour drive.
Actually, no, that makes sense. That changes nothing for me. Okay.
All right. All right, so you get into the city. Eventually, you get close to the garden, and Ravenna is babbling the entire time about who knows what. And say you chose to ignore her, if that would be your preference. And then eventually, after
He's just doing polite nodding, not really listening.
Yep, classic. After a while, notice that there is in fact a white barn owl that is following your carriage, and it is clearly Luna. Ravenna says, "Driver, turn right. It's way faster. It's a shortcut." And then driver turns. Ravenna goes, "No, wait. Wait, no. It might be. Okay, hold on. I gotta orient myself." Driver goes, "Princess, if you're referring to the Green Shire Gardens, I am certain they're further straight down." He goes, "Well, then turn it around." "The street is too narrow. We will continue for now." Just. And after some time driving down this narrow road, you eventually get to the point where you can turn off. One block down, there is a large glass greenhouse, sort of sitting at the edge of the city, not quite at the wall, but surrounded by trees and different greenery. There is a separate building attached to it, which appears to be a conservatory of some sort, or maybe an observatory, with a large brick impressive dome, and then off of it is the greenhouse. On pulling up and the driver saying something you can't quite hear to the other guards, parked, and then Ravenna escorts you out of the vehicle. Or really, the driver would probably jump over and you're now at this greenhouse. Welcome to the greenhouse, Lounge All. Are you looking for anything in particular, or are you just sightseeing the pretty flowers?
Well, originally she was hoping there was a garden in the palace.
I see.
You could have like a private place to.
Nope.
But now they've like left the city, left the castle. So
Indeed, they have.
could I guess she's kind of just memorizing the road that they drove on, like the path they took, that stuff. I don't think she's willing yet to try and risk escaping.
Right. Okay,
Because
well,
Rena's crazy.
Ravenna is crazy. Done been. And so, you enter into the gardens with Ravenna still incessantly babbling. Oops. And eventually, Ravenna talks her way into it. One of the attendants is trying to say that they're closed, but Ravenna is flanked by royal guards, and at that point, the fight is over. So he just kind of goes, "We're not open." Just trails off. And she shuts the door behind her, and now you're in this beautiful greenhouse where I turn off the such loud. Is there greenhouse ambience? Is there such a thing? Old greenhouse ambience. 5-hour rain sound. Excellent. Morning at greenhouse. Perfect. There are several birds inside this greenhouse. Lots of small trees, some fruit plants, apple plants, plums, large wildflowers, and then different sections which are potted. Everything is divided primarily into a main aisle, and then there are sub aisles on either side. So it's a fairly simple layout, but then below there is more of a sprawling path through more natural looking greenery.
Mm-hmm. So
Directions.
while they're looking at stuff, Siobhan's just gonna like ask some questions.
Okay.
Ravenna, were you always a princess or?
I guess not, because when I was really little, my father wasn't the king yet. But ever since then, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know how that works here. Nah, I don't know how that works here in Lucerne. Um, and he became the king. How was it
Oh
like?
my gosh, there was so much drama. I wasn't old enough to understand it. I wish I was, because apparently it was crazy. Yeah. So apparently, this one guy was really old and wrinkly, and he didn't have an heir. And it was all this weird thing because the council was worried because then a bunch of people were like, what if we get rid of the king and we have a democracy? And so that wasn't happening. So they came up with this weird system where they were like, what if when the king dies, there's this other guy who's like a special guy, and he goes in place of the king when the king dies, even though he isn't an heir. That replaced the rule of heirship. That was a whole thing, and it was called the Duke of whatever, I don't even care. But basically, it was crazy because the king knew my dad, and my dad knew the king, and they went pretty far back, but they've been out of contact for a while. Moved here when I was really, really young. I don't even remember how old I was. I have to ask. 15 or something.
Then how old is Ravenna, John? Help.
Ravenna is like 2 years younger than Malachi,
Great. That doesn't help me.
so she might be like 23.
All right, great. Ravenna is 23.
Write that down.
All right. So she says, so yeah, I was probably like 7. Like I remember bits and pieces, but basically what happened was there was disagreement about who the duke should have been. A bunch of people who were on the council that created the system didn't like the guy that the king in, but that's how it was. But it was weird because dad was a distant relative of this king guy, and we found out about it because news was spreading, all this like political drama, and we had connection. And I don't know if this old guy just like forgot about us or what, or maybe he didn't know that we were alive because a bunch of his family died and stuff. So he didn't have a direct heir, but even his family was like he was a stranger from them because he was kind of gross and stupid. But what happened then was we showed up, and then my dad was like, hey, does that mean I'm the heir? And then the king was like, oh yeah, it does mean that you're the heir, so let's discontinue this weird duke guy, whatever, because now you're the king. That was all fine. And then she turns around and stops dead in her tracks.
And then the Duke guy, like Saul or something, Saul Lumiere, killed the old king. which is like the dumbest thing you could possibly do because I don't know, maybe he thought he wasn't going to get caught, and then before they could reverse the whole Duke of the thing, then he would become king. But that didn't happen because he totally got caught and he totally got killed. And then that meant that because he was, well, a murderer, they passed it to my father. So, yeah.
And how did he kill? How did he kill the king?
I know, with a knife.
Oh,
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't anything crazy. It was just like he stabbed him like 27 times in the chest or something. About it.
I guess I just expected more, being Lucine being so full of magic. I would have thought it was done with more than just simple stab wounds, but sometimes simple is best, I guess.
Yeah, and maybe it was like because it was unexpected. I don't really know. That dude was apparently like not right in the head. I don't think any of the Lumieres are. Kind of tracks.
Well, I do know the last name, and I did meet Malcolm.
You met. Wait, what? Say that again.
Malcolm?
There's not a Malcolm. There was a sister. I don't really know what happened to her. There is a little brother, and then there is an older brother. I think they're all M names. I don't remember the sister's name. And the younger brother is Malik, and he's a bit stupid. And the older brother is Malachi, and he's a jerk. When did you meet? What is Malcolm?
I don't know. I guess he's in charge of the Lucine property now. That's where. Oh, that's where.
Oh, you mean the old guy? I thought you were talking about. I think his name was like Marcus.
Marcus.
It's not even like a real Delulu. Kind of doesn't care. Whatever.
Ooh, don't go to him.
Wait, what does that mean?
Okay, so this is where things get weird. So after Saul killed the old king, like Rufus or whatever his name was, there was this whole thing because now the whole house Lumiere would be like, "Oh, who's gonna lead us?" and whatever, and so the immediate line of House Lumiere was supposed to go to the oldest son Malachi, but because their dad was a murderer, they were going to get arrested for conspiracy. So what ended up happening was they pretty much just ran away, and his mom is now my stepmom, which is kind of stupid because she's like the worst. But I don't know. There's some weird thing where like their kids are like they do magic. I guess I was in school with them. Well, one of them, Malachi, he was okay, I guess. I mean, he's not stronger than me, but he did magic. It's because like I don't know, he would always brag about like being the descendant of a dragon, which I think is stupid, and he's probably lying. But allegedly, that's why all of their eyes are white and stuff, because they're not even like human. They're Azimar, which is kind of crazy because they like don't exist really. But his mom is like my dad wanted magical children, which is why I'm the favorite child because I do magic because I'm cool like that, and I'm not even from a dragon or whatever that loser's from, bloodline and crap. But okay, I got distracted. What was I talking about?
No, no, nothing.
Marcus. It was the Marcus guy. Yeah. So the Marcus guy is not even like a real Lumiere. So apparently Saul's father got around, if you know what I mean. So when he was getting around, or no, maybe that wasn't it. No. It was his sister. He did get around though. That was apparently a whole thing. That's crazy. You got to keep up to all the royal drama. The Lumiere family is a mess. But anyway, I think Saul's father's sister was also like magical or whatever, and so she had a son, and that's Marcus Lumiere. So he's not actually a de Lumiere because his de Lumiere blood is from the mother, and she took the name of whoever irrelevant Dumbledore took over. but it doesn't matter because after the whole Lumiere thing happened, basically Martin stepped in because he was like the next person that wasn't associated with Saul that could step in. He did have the blood, but he didn't have the name. So basically, they just changed his name, and nobody questioned it because he looks a lot like Malachi and Saul and whatever, and my stepmom. But yeah, he's not really the Lumiere. He has the blood, but not the name. Kind of means that he should have no power. Whatever.
Oh, sounds to me like he's related to Malachi's father, but not his mother.
I don't. No, I don't think so. I think it's like a grandfather. I don't know if they're like fifth cousins, whatever. Removed. I don't know how it works. Their family tree's a mess. They're crazy. Anyway, that's why they're stupid. The many reasons.
Well, I just don't. I understand, you know, the whole political rival thing. I just don't get why you'd arrest kids for what their parents did.
Well, Malachi was always a conniving little bastard boy. He was kind of old enough to have potentially known things that he shouldn't have known, so they were gonna bring him in for like questioning, whatever. But apparently, stepmom panicked and just was like, "Oh God, they're gonna kill you," which totally wasn't gonna happen. But yeah, it was this whole weird thing.
Uh, I'm just gonna inside check her to see if she actually believes that or if she just lying to me.
Okay, go ahead.
Screw it.
I don't know. Maybe she's lying. She's kind of shooting off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'd run.
So for stuff like that, could I just use my passive insight if I needed to?
Sure.
Okay.
Would have been a 12. That's would have been a 12 on the run.
It's 13.
Can't pull up a character. Be able to click on the little head bubble and link to that character. So easy for them to program. Alright. Anyway, after some time has passed, you hear a little hooing distance. Everybody goes, kind of weird. Aren't owls nocturnal?
Not all species of owls are.
A lot of birds in here. Annoying.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, I gotta show you the lily of the valley. He, like, grabs your hand and lightly sprints over. He goes, this is it. It's a white, droopy flower. I gotta look up lily of the valley to make sure I... Yeah. That's a little white flower. Big vertical stem. You know, what am I doing? I'm just gonna... This! I use
Yes.
words when picture does job. It's that. He goes, really pretty. I like it because it looks depressed. All the bulbs are upside down, like all died or something. But apparently, if you know what you're doing, you can turn this into something that kills people.
I figured.
Lots of flowers can do that if you know. Or they can do the opposite, but that's not as cool. Herbalist. Ever. So yeah. You're hooing again.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'm gonna look at some. I'm gonna tell her that I'm gonna look at some more flowers this way, and I'll meet her back here in a little bit. But I'm looking for the owl.
You'll meet me back. Okay. Whatever. I'm about done. So you have like 5 minutes and then we're leaving. I'll be in the wagon. Also, if you run away, I don't care. I'll just tell Daddy you like died in a hole. Actually, don't do that. I will find you in. Okay, bye.
Crap! I thought I could escape. Okay. I'm gonna call for Luna.
Luna flies down. She says, maybe now is the ideal time for you to make some move.
Yeah, I was thinking, but I don't know what kind of moves I can make. I mean, she just threatened to kill me if I try to escape.
Let's say that maybe we could take Ravenna out of the picture. Would you like that?
What does that mean, Luna?
She just wouldn't remember that she needs to take care of you. Let's say that I had a way of getting her to get in that carriage and just leave.
Ooh, 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 ooh. You know what? Now that she trusts me, maybe we'll come back here more often. And then maybe we can try that. I think her guard is going to be up now. So I think just for now, I might be more useful to everyone if I can hear what's going on in the castle.
Good. And what I'll do is I'll make sure that you're safe while you... If we make this a recurring look.
Ah, yes. I think that's a good plan.
Let's do it. For now, let's just return to our humble abode.
Okay.
Alright.
And I'll go out. Yeah.
Fawn gets back in the wagon. The guard escorts you in. The driver takes you back to... It is now like, I don't know, 5 p.m. something.
I forget if we've like talked about this before, but I'm gonna pull out that sending stone that I have and try to use it.
You do have that sending. Go ahead. This is Cagliari, obviously, right?
Yes. Hello. Is anyone there?
Hello, you meet Marco's Pizza.
Alright, is that all you're saying?
Yeah.
Ah, you should give that back to me. You're not going to be needing it anymore. Just leave it somewhere in the palace.
Who is this?
That's not how this works.
What?
Come on, we met. You know who I am.
Are you the? I don't think I ever caught your name.
Nah, you don't need it. Just
What if-
leave the stone wherever you're at. I'm assuming you're at the palace. Leave it in your room.
What if you just gave me the other one?
No, I need them.
But they're kind of cool.
I know, but you don't need them anymore. Haven't had time to come get it.
Okay.
Fine, I'll come get it. Stay where you are. What room are you in? Where are you?
Are they numbered?
Oh, just are you in the palace?
Yeah.
Are you in the main hall? The 4 rooms.
Yes.
Enter the door. What room are you on? Second to the left, second to the right, first to the left, first to the right.
Second left.
Alright, give me 1 second.
Hey, Rainy, we're getting a guy's coming to get this stone.
Mm-hmm.
Rainy is dead.
She's not listening.
How to avoid talking to yourself. My one character hates my other character. They will ignore them forever.
No, she's just in her own world. 97% of the time.
Smart fellow, we can get out of here.
Alright. You hear a little bit of grumbling, and then all of a sudden your door opens.
Give me the stone.
Oh,
He's in
yeah.
Wizard
full. Oh yeah, hold on. I gotta show you what he. I have to show you what he looks like.
It's a little goblin man.
Just hold on. I know,
It's a
but
big
you
goblin man.
haven't seen him in this uniform, and it's important that you see him in this. Extremely important.
Trevor
Right, he's
worked on
loading.
him for like a whole 7 minutes.
I did, but he looks funny. He's in full jester gear, and his orb's on his back, and he just goes, give me the stone.
Why are you dressed like that?
Tell
I'm
a
doing
joke.
my job. No. What? Who said that? Get back in your room. Give me the stone.
No.
All right, I'm gonna flick it to him.
Ah, thank you.
Died.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, I'm sure you noticed that plans changed. Mizram got his ass killed, so that's that. That's a wrap.
Am I like good? Like I'm not gonna like shrivel up in a week or anything, right?
No, you're not in trouble. Things are just different now. I was gonna do my own thing with you, and it was gonna be this whole cool thing, but it's fine. Xerxes and I are on the same page. You can just do whatever, and that's fine. Have fun.
But I'm like the magic is good, right? Like I'm not gonna
What magic?
like I'm not. I mean,
Oh, you mean since you were resurrected?
yeah.
No. Mizram knew what he was doing. You're fine. But
Okay, cool.
I'm sure you've noticed you're not really going to eat or breathe or poop, which I find all to be very convenient things. I wish I could live as I am now without having to do things, but
I could help you over
that's about it.
Well, I could do the first half. You'd have to find someone else to resurrect you.
Yeah, it's not really worth it. I find that the trade-offs outweigh the benefits. Anyway, I must be going now. Very important courtly things to do in the King's Court, as I am, of course, a prominent member of the King's Court. And he says, oh, okay, goodbye. That's the door. And he says to Sable, what are you looking at?
You.
Sable is not outside his room.
Okay, good.
And if he was,
What you wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Superman.
he probably wouldn't do anything.
You.
Hey, come on over there.
Bless you.
That room sounds like fun.
That's because it's the Goof Troop. Goof Troop room. Alright, I guess Ravenna goes to her room. Does anyone else want to do anything before we do the largest time skip we've gotten to do in a long time?
So, if
An
you went out
entire day.
through these walls.
Well, I was gonna say the only thing I would do more is she would probably just go hang out with Roger a little bit. If
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so-
It's allowed. She can go to his room.
Okay.
Opens the door. After knocking, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What, you handle this. I'm go for it.
How you walking around? You're free like that.
Hey,
Hi.
they've essentially adopted me.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's weird.
I think so too. But I told them I've got family, I've got uncle.
Yeah.
And I hope that helped keep you alive.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows? They had a lot to interrogate me about, and then I caused a ruckus.
How so?
Well, I may or may not have tried to escape.
I heard he crawled into a toilet.
And may or may not have crawled into a toilet.
Siobhan has she's literally enraptured in this. She's like, I dare an escape.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I almost got through the bars, but it's like a 3,000-foot drop, so
Oh no.
that would have annihilated me. And that would have sucked. Luckily, though, I have a map of the sewer system in this general area.
Is it just a line, a vertical line?
It's like a Y shape.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Or
Good,
more of a T, I guess.
good job.
Siobhan is very, very impressed. If I knew if anybody could find a way out, it was you.
It's like Sonic music plays, and it's like there's a flip, and then like press and pose, and it's like A minus.
Is Sega gonna kill me if I play like Sonic Riders? What do you think? If I just pull up like the Sonic Riders soundtrack, will I get copyright struck?
Why Sonic Riders?
Because I think that
I
would be
think-
really funny music to play right now.
I think game music is usually okay because of Let's Plays. Don't
Okay.
quote me on that.
Well, we're gonna play High Flying Groove from Sonic Riders.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh! Who did that? No! Can't even tell.
We stand together. Do not reveal who did it.
It was Nick. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Stand together.
It's unfortunate. It's a flaw in the system. I can't punish him. I don't know who did it.
We remain.
Playing Sonic
Of
Riders.
the winter in the cold dark night. We remain.
Any other conversations happening in this room? 'Cause so far, it's just been gradually going. I do a map of the sewers, and it's a Y. And Siobhan going, wow.
And I guess just
It's a
mentally, I'm telling Graja and Smartfella that I've been in contact with. I'm having the outer conversation, of course. I'm telling them that I've been in contact with Malachi. They're trying to do their best to counteract some of the plans. So if you do hear from Malachi, give them as much details as you can, but remember, you can't spill any of it to like
Right.
Xerxes and the others, of
This
course.
is all psychic, right?
Yes, and
What-
she's also gonna go, I'm not worried about you, Uncle Graja. I know you can do this. I'm an elite member of this, so I trust you.
Literally show every single thing that has gone wrong to get us to this point that was directly caused by grinding the diamonds.
Oh man. What was the outer conversation about?
It was him talking about like the sewers and stuff.
That's it.
She was just like listening and asking like, yeah, what was that like? And like she's very interested in
The
The
masonry
slime.
was very well done. I
mm,
got stuck at one point. I believe they might have rearranged the floor to get me out. I
How
don't know
viscous
because
was the
mere
slime?
seconds later, I was unconscious.
Your Kelly just phases through the wall. How viscous was
and then once that's done, she's gonna go back to her room.
Right. I think it might be time to fast forward. Potentially long rest. There's one group we have to keep up with. And it's the walking group who has been walking for 12 hours. And is probably very tired. But they will have gotten to Namir by now. Soon after, that means that they're going to branch off. Right.
Oh no.
Indeed, we're going to lose the super group. Very short time. No more 7 is stay here. But yeah, anybody here want to do anything? You still have a hostage who's just walked 12 hours with you. There is that.
Has he really?
I mean, if you haven't done anything to him, yeah, he's just been walking on this grand voyage, following you along the river.
Wait, no, he wasn't. The armors were carrying him.
Oh, that's right.
I'm gonna count the alcohols in the armor, make sure he didn't steal any, even though his arms are tied.
They're still there.
Good.
Probably lost feeling. Anything this group wants to do before they walk for 12 hours and then crash from exhaustion?
No.
Right. While all of the NPCs are strong silent types, with the exception of Oddvar and Olav, who are just going to be sequestered talking to each other and to no one else.
I would like to be my friend.
Yep. All right. Well, then that group walks 12 hours. You set up camp just outside of Namir. Not planning on. Well, are you planning on renting from like the only inn in Namir, or just set up camp, save costs, stay secure, not disrupt anyone?
Mm-hmm.
Second option, yeah.
Yeah.
Camp in the
Yeah.
woods by Namir.
Yeah.
Yeah. The question. Okay. Yeah.
So, do they remember Zephyr now, or still no?
No.
Oh
They just-
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. None
But
of you know who Zephyr is.
He's just
But
with
no,
us.
Malachi had said yes. This is like he had approved him.
Yeah, but they don't remember you.
Oh, they don't remember him. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
they're
all.
just like, yeah, I guess it was this guy.
He's just a stranger with
He's still
us.
kind of in the out group.
Okay,
So, yeah.
it's just, so he's just walking with Meteor.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. In which case, you all set up camp outside of Namir, not making a big disturbance, just staying a little bit south of the town, across north above the river, right at the start of morning, and then shortly after that, you're going to branch because you're going to head into the woods and some going north. But I believe the ones who are going to go north are just going to be Oddvar, Olav, Dent. I think that's their group.
Nah, we're going. Light McKay and Detroit are going to
That's right.
Coruscant.
You guys, so you 6 will be traveling, but then Dweeby, Blabbertub, Meteor, I think Zephyr Parch, Grant, Eddie, and Crane are all going to be still in the one group because they're going to go into the caves together. So, and that means the animated armor will go in, and potentially Varus if you don't do anything with him at that point. If he's still with you. So, all right.
I don't know. At this point, Zephyr is like not sure where he wants to go because nobody remembers him.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate.
Mm.
Whoa, I was keeping track of quest times. I have it written in a document. I just forgot to do it since session 5 ended. Yikes. Alright, well, the start of 9 starts Saturday at 11 a.m. We're declaring it. And it ends, I don't know when. I don't read it. Alright. That. Okie dokie. Boo ba ba.
Babu Booby.
Mm-hmm. None of Ben said that.
I think the last thing we need to do before we long rest, that is the question. That's what's probably going to happen. We got to assemble the asylum squad. They're going to head to the asylum that night. Maybe long rest.
Asylum Squad?
Yeah. Because Elithor is meeting you at the asylum. You're going to Kyriil from. So these guys, we have. Let's assemble. So as the night falls, one of the guards comes into each of your rooms, collects you, and says disable primarily, and says, "Commander, your ride is here. Rides." Disable asleep.
I'm sorry, dude. I was talking to my mom.
No, I said Disable was talking to his mom.
Yeah, terribly important. You know, writing a wonderful letter.
Yeah. Fair, that's fair. Does he have a good relationship with the mother?
No, he doesn't have a mother.
he's just, oh no!
This is all a psyop to convince people that he has a loving family.
Oh no!
Yeah,
right.
Sable's totally an orphan.
Oh god!
He's just writing. He's writing a letter to some like nice mother he's met once.
Well, God says, "Commander, your rides are here."
Oh, is that so?
Yes, sir.
Has everybody else been alerted?
No, you were the first as the commander. I can gather the others. We're on the balcony, west balcony.
Please do so, and I'll grab my shit and get ready.
Yes, sir. All right. Guard says the same thing. Your rides are on the west balcony. Going to the asylum to meet the final member of your group.
All right.
All right, and then the guard walks in. Smart fella says, "Smart fella,
Yeah, that's me.
the ride is here. Come to the west balcony."
He follows.
Yes, everyone gathers on the. I don't know if there's anyone else on the pod. Currently.
Squad up. Is Ravenna not coming? I thought she was coming for part of it.
Oh, she's. That's another thing. She just can't go to the.
Wait, why is Ravenna coming?
She talks. She talks Xerxes
She
into
asked
it.
too.
Yeah.
She asked
Alright.
me,
No, she asked Xerxes.
She has Xerxes.
All right.
and he said yes.
He did. All right. Ravenna.
He said you can go for part of it. She's not
Yeah.
gonna go all the way.
Ravenna
Or
goes
she's
up.
not supposed to, but she is her, so.
Ravenna goes to Siobhan and says, "Hey, girl. So I'm gonna be gone for a little bit. So read this." And she throws a book at you.
It hits me in the head.
Look, look
It
this.
hits me in the head.
So you don't have reflexes.
No, because I was in bed.
All right. Well, anyway, I'll be gone for I don't know how long. Maybe like a day, maybe 2 days. I don't know. Might kill some people. See how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But
Where are you going? I'm gonna. Where are you going?
it's a secret, so I can't tell you. But when I'm back, we're gonna have a quiz, and then I'm gonna teach you.
Can I try to open my mind?
Yes.
It's probably gonna fail, like
Yeah.
everything else tonight.
It's gonna be funny. See it. All you hear is words that are unpleasant words, derogatory words.
I just kind of squint and I go, okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, later. And she shuts the door. Right. And outside on the balcony are giant falcons, ridden by giant falcon riders, who escort you onto the backs of their falcons.
Sybil makes a tisk noise.
Yeah, you wanted the dragon?
I did.
Fortunate. Well, each one of you has a giant falcon and a rider who is riding for you. All 5 of you board up, and your 10 falcons roll out.
Wait, is Siobhan not coming?
Siobhan is not coming.
Dude, I must have missed so fucking much. What?
No, not really. She's just she's being brought
Why?
because she's the asset.
She's the bargaining chip.
If you want to take her, you can take her.
Nah.
If we
Now-
go in there and we say, "Hey, we have this lady, get us into the Feywild, or else," they're just gonna say, "Okay," and kill us and take her.
Yeah, there's some other
I
elements.
see. That's
There's a-
fair. Well,
All right, your giant falcons are on their way, taking you to Zion Asylum. Journey begins.
I planned to, like... Never mind, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, let me know. There's time. Plan to what?
Well, I just wanted to, like... Sable got off feelings about Siobhan from the beginning.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that Sable made that clear to Xerxes before he left.
Oh yes, Xerxes as well.
Okay, cool. Well, then that's fine.
Excellent. Oh wow, this is like Lucine Asylum when we were in the middle of a war. I don't want to live.
Just bodies everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally like a million entities. I'll try it. Maybe it takes forever to load because the file is so. Oh, this is after I delete it. No, this is the wedding. This is the wedding file. All right, I'm just going. It doesn't even matter. You don't even really need the map. I'm gonna draw it. I'm just gonna draw you in the void. As great as it would be to pull up the old map and have we're just gonna say that your party of 10 falcons lands at the gate, and Sable, you can in fact see a man and his horse, and he is standing aside by the gate with 2 guards who seem to have been expecting him. They see you all fly in. You land, and then the guard gestures for you to get off and discuss with your patriot here.
Hello, it's been a while. I'll go up and
Indeed,
knock.
it has. How have you been, Sable?
Fairly well, and I'll give him a firm shake.
Ah, excellent. Aye. Things have been crazy. Forestgar's been a bit burnt. My job's too inconsistent to stay there. What exactly are we doing? He didn't give me many details.
No, well, see our wonderful party first, and I'll point and introduce everybody. This is smart fella. He's a people person.
Good to have those.
This one's Cagliari. She's got a long story.
I can see that.
Yeah. This one's Rainy. Rainy.
That's fine.
Good to meet
Yeah.
you.
I don't know.
I
much about
am
him.
Princess Ravenna Nacht. You will refer to me as such in full. Great. Good to know, Princess Ravenna Nacht.
Where is this meeting taking place?
Outside the asylum.
Hmm.
Sorry, did you want to hear? What did you? Because yeah, they're miles
I
away.
wasn't sure. Yeah. No, I was wondering if you came to meet them in the
Nope.
palace. Okay, gotcha.
All right, Elithor says, "Quite the rides you've assembled here."
Yes,
So-
we've been granted these directly from Xerxes himself.
Oh, so that's who we're working for. I have not had the pleasure of making his acquaintance.
Consider this somewhat of a diplomatic royal escort.
Good. I trust you wouldn't rub me into anything too crazy. You know me.
What the fuck is that?
Well, I don't know. It's really loud. What is the nature of our assignment?
Hold on, like half of my chair just fell off.
Well, that's unfortunate. While he's fixing that, does one of you want to tell me a little bit about what we're doing here?
We're going to the Kyriil Plateau. We're talking to the elves, and we're going to persuade them to help us into the Feywild.
And by we, you mean me. I don't
Well,
imagine any of you are going to pull much weight unless you can
have-
disguise yourselves as elves.
We have a bargaining chip.
You have a bargaining chip.
There's
Yes, Elithor, you are helping us into where we need to go.
I see. It's going to be interesting. They're not exactly fond of visitors. I know my parents will want to see me. It's been a few years for sure. Quite a few. I haven't been in contact, but I could still walk my way back on. They didn't void my citizenship. The harder part is convincing them that you guys can all come in as well. Now, if their security recognizes my rank as it was when I left,
may have an easier time getting in. But if I actually get stopped by an elf, there could be some problems.
Why would that be?
They're not keenly fond of visitors. No dwarves here. That's definitely for the best. But undead maiden over here would draw some eyes. Human might be okay. Princess of a political, not rival, but not exactly friends. Could be interesting. And blue dragonborn. Dragonborn would definitely be a plus, but blue would probably be a minus.
Well, I'm only half.
Yeah, I noticed. What's the other half?
Bronze.
Well, then you might get by all right.
Hard to tell at a glance, though.
Should have just said, like, Caucasian.
Well, it's certainly not an easy mission, but suppose we can only try. The good news is I'm hoping I won't have to use this much. And then he points to his he like pats his leg where his rapier is.
No, this should be quite a peaceful. What, like a week trip?
Probably even like sooner, a few days.
Well,
The difficulty is once you get to the base of the plateau, it's gonna take a while to get to the city. That's the big problem. So, yeah.
good thing we have an excellent guide.
Indeed. All right.
Yeah, smart fellow.
Well, are we setting off tonight and making camp hopefully inside the walls of Karamas, or are we resting here?
If we can, that would be optimal.
We can what?
Make our way in.
All right. Well, I've never flown one of these before, but if I don't have to worry about it, then let's get going. All right, he hops on the back of a falcon. You all are off. Away you go. Definitely need to end the session here because I need to get a shower and make my bed and be up early.
Bro
Yeah,
makes his bed before he goes to
Yeah.
sleep.
All right. Biddy boop.